Good evening. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Fool's Landing on the Dice Illusions channel, where we are playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition and set in the Forgotten Realms. I will be the Dungeon Master. I am Jamie, and tonight I am joined by 5 great role players who all have introduced themselves and their character momentarily, starting with going left to right on my screen. Molly, good evening.
Hello, I am playing Shaujr, and he is a 4th level Wizard Slayer Barbarian from Rashamar.
Awesome. Good to have you here. Next up, we have the return of Tim.
Tim, I'm playing Griff, a 5th level ranger.
He is human
Human.
as well, and
As far
good to
as
have
everybody
you.
knows, he is human.
Yes.
As
Next,
everybody knows.
the next up we have is Wayne. Hello.
Hello, I'm Wayne. I'm playing Seharn, a yet 5th level aquatic elf cleric of Valkur, god of the sea and the wind.
Yes, and good to have you back. Next up is Chris. Hello.
Hey there, I'm Chris, and I'm going to be playing Kurza, a nice 5th level elven wizard.
Perfect. And then last but not least is Brandon. Hello.
Hello, I am Brandon. I am playing Nod Zosferatu, a Minotaur or 6th level Minotaur Shadow Thief.
Perfect. That is our 5 for this evening. Chris is on a new PC, so he is not on camera, but it's good to see everybody's faces. And real quickly, I know this is behind one session, but just to give everybody a general sense of where we are, I owe some XP, but unfortunately it won't be enough to put anyone on to a new level anyway. I do have it on a separate sheet, so I'll get this updated, but this is just to summarize again the party makeup for anyone following along, to also get a sense of how far you may have been from next level. But with that, let's cut back and talk about session 48, which it's been several weeks since we've gotten together, so we'll attempt a recap here. I'll lead this, I think, because it's been so long, but here's the map of where things left off. And just to summarize, the group is in Procampur. They have decided to make their way out of the city and head back to the Underdark, I believe, is the current path. And as you were leaving the city, you spotted this Cormyrian caravan that was here for a trade agreement, and there's a lot of other kingdoms represented here in town, but it just so happened as you were passing through this gate that you passed some folks from Cormyr. And in that moment, Kurza, what happened to you, and how did this sort of chaos ensue? Do you recall?
I lost control of myself, quite literally.
Yes, and you pulled out your.
I was forced to fight for no apparent reason,
You
other
fired an
than
arrow.
our wonderful tattoos.
Yeah,
And since
you
I'm
roll.
armed with a bow now, and I'm better at it, I managed to get a shot off. Rolled a critical, went through
Yeah.
the wagon, and splattered somebody, or
Yeah,
pretty close.
you're exactly right. And so it was really a perfect shot at the wrong moment. One that maybe we should have thought we could have questioned the use of Astonishing Fortune on that, but unfortunately it wouldn't have mattered because you weren't acting under your control anyway. So you're exactly right. You felt a sense of great evil. In fact, to be more specific, that something of great evil was inside of that caravan. And so you fired a shot blindly into it, and fortunately or unfortunately, it did some mortal damage to one of the occupants. And I think there was a point in time then where you were all pursued by various soldiers. I think you had been basically split into 2 flanks. So you had some of you on the right side and some of you on the left side of the caravan who were being pursued.
Yep.
You were doing some avoidance. Anybody remember anything else from the great battle here?
I know at one point Nod saw the person who got mortally shot inside. He asked Seharn to heal him. I think Seharn did, but at some
Yep.
point Art threw a fireball at them. Not a fireball, but a produced flame at them.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Bart
Yeah,
was
so
also.
yeah, I think
Right.
maybe I can pick it up. So Griff stumbled up out of the thing and saw chaos. And I yelled out that we're not their enemies. Seharn made eye contact with me and said, I think it's the tattoos. I noticed that Adam was held, or Bart was held, and that that Nod was chasing Kurza, and everybody was scrambling around the wagon. And Seharn said something about somebody being injured in the wagon, and I yelled out, can you see if you can render aid? I grabbed Bart and yelled at Nod and said, grab Kurza and let's get out of here. And we tried to head toward the gate, but at that point, Bart woke up. Yeah, Bart woke up. Kurza pulled out his wand,
Yeah,
turned everything to mud.
that was the
Yeah,
big thing. Yeah.
turned everything to mud. Bart woke up, cast his version of Fireball.
Basically,
And
I had given both Kurza and Bart a green light to be as wicked as they could be, and Chris, I think, enjoyed that thoroughly, pulling out the rod.
yeah.
I understand when I'm given instructions.
Yeah, dude, you sent the wagon.
So that's part of the mess that we're seeing on the screen here. I think all of the dark tan rectangles represent the areas that have sunk into mud.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or walls that are now mud rather than stone.
Yeah. So
yeah, and then I think was the yellow the fireball, the fire.
Yeah, that was what Bart had done. The damage Bart had inflicted. Yep.
And I think we're separate because Shaujr created a distraction, right? I pushed someone and
You
said that
ran
they were
through
a
the gate.
thief. Yeah, and then once I got through the gate.
You ran over. You body checked one of the guards, and the rest of us followed out, and that's where we were.
Yeah.
We're heading out the gate.
Yeah. Basically, he had knocked back everybody, and so there were a couple of guards who got knocked back like bowling pins, from what I recall, wrecked basically, and then the rest of you were able to start to run through to the gate, and that's where we left off, is with all of you fleeing into the harbor district. So you're basically not standing, but really running through the gate at the harbor district with what you believe to be behind you, a pretty difficult mess for a lot of that group to pursue you. So there's only a couple of folks who might be on the edge of that mud who could make their way to chase you. But that's where we'll pick up here, is back on our view of the harbor for a moment. Perhaps as you all make your way through the gate and back to your feet, and you arrive and you're looking straight ahead, there's a lot of onlookers. It's definitely business as usual, but what's gone on here through the gate is a few people might be spectating to see what the hell is all the ruckus is about, and the sudden conflict that took place just on the other side of the gate as well. But as far as the caravan from Cormyr, there are a couple of guards who are trying to get themselves out of the mud, but they're not actively pursuing. They're really just trying to continue to protect their caravan. So your current pursuit is that there is a guard that I believe was knocked back and is basically prone to you as you're all running through the gate. And so whether you choose to do anything to them or run on is up to you, where we'll pick up. And I'll give you guys a chance to talk about anything that you want to do if you've got a plan in mind for your escape.
I'm for a run on. And again, I think we quite possibly have just damaged our reputation in the city.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Damaged?
How much of the stuff
Crushed it.
Yeah, how much of that wall came down, man?
from my note to
Just
you,
a gate or
Djinni,
two.
It's going to cost money.
Yeah, just a few thousand gold.
We don't have it. We don't have that.
What were you gonna add there, Tim?
So-
I was just gonna say how much of the stuff that I sent you in Discord do we
Oh,
want to
oh, okay, yeah. Let me pull
consider?
something. I'm sorry. Let's see. And Molly, what did you have?
Oh, I was just gonna say, which district were you heading into then?
The Harbor District. Let me.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, let me pull up the good map, which I think.
Didn't we always say that if we got lost in Procampur, we should meet up at that bar that we talked to the captain that one time? I don't know. That's my input in terms of
The
where
chum
we should
bucket?
meet up. Yeah,
Was that it?
one.
Yeah,
That's where Furbis. We met Furbis.
he's a good contact. You need something, but
Yeah, you haven't spent that much time in the Harbor District, frankly. You've definitely traipsed around.
Spent the
Probably.
night there.
Yeah, you've seen a lot more of the city maybe than the Harbor District, but that would be a place that would be familiar to all of you. So I could.
We might have a
I
hard
could see that.
time getting out the gates, so we might have to sneak off on a ship or something. I don't know.
We
But,
just went
yeah.
through the gate.
That's what
Well-
Shaujr is probably heading to that place.
Yeah, so
We're
we're
this
gonna go
was.
here, right?
Yeah, these gates down here are the ones that would get you back on the road to the fastest way to the road to your portal. If that's the goal still.
Yeah, now would recommend we don't split up, but we should go to the gate and just leave here while we still can, because they will be looking for us.
Nod would be like the least familiar, probably the least comfortable right now, whereas the rest of you would recall this place.
No, you're right, Brendan. They're not looking for us yet, but they might be in just a few short minutes. Again, we just destroyed the walled gate of the city. I don't know, man. I thought we had friends here.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
it's akin to burning bridges, right? Turning gates to mud. Right. So
Any of you got disguise? We can all just camouflage ourselves.
I might have a disguise. Yes.
Yeah, Nod's pretty good at this.
yeah. And like I said, he's the one that's least familiar with his setting right now. Would be probably very much dependent on following you all. So if you're leading the way, let's see, let me pull up the.
We could bribe somebody, like a merchant with a wagon,
Let me.
even town maybe.
I'm gonna mark on the map where the chum bucket is. Let's see, where is it?
That's good to know. But we are leaving town right now, though, right?
That was the plan, yes, I believe.
That
The
is the
chum
plan.
bucket?
The chum bucket is up in this
Uh,
corner of the harbor.
was that the one on stilts?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's where we stayed before we got our first ship out of town.
right. Yeah, so that
What
is one option. The other option
about
is the gate, right? Making your way, trying to get out the gate, but running the risk, obviously, of encounter there. But
The place that we stayed, this wasn't Shaujr, it was in Mithra, but the place that we stayed where we witnessed the murder, you remember out the window? That wasn't the
was
chum bucket.
That was
no,
up in town.
That was
yeah.
up in this
Oh,
district. which
okay, okay.
I'm trying to remember the name of this district. That was the C district. So the C district and the Harbor
Got it.
district are different. Yeah. And you've spent a little more time in the C district than the Harbor district at this point. Yeah, the blue is the C district. Okay, so what I'll do, if there's any, I guess, way of doing this differently that you want to do, let me know. But otherwise, I guess we could just roll initiative and step through and let each of you decide what you're going to do here, unless you're all in agreement that there's one universal path.
I think we're in agreement that we're just going to head down the street, make our way out of town through this gate.
They're gonna follow us, Seharn.
I just ran over to the guards at the gate, so I don't know if
Yeah.
they're screaming out or whatever, but
So
Right.
we gotta lose
I
them.
sent you a couple
We gotta lose
messages,
them.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it.
Before the alarm gets around, if they're even looking.
Oh,
Those
this-
two guards that we bowled, the guards that Shaujr bowled over, those were city guards, right?
I
Those
want to
weren't
say they were
part of
part of
the
the
caravan,
entourage. They were part. I want to say they were part of the caravan.
were they? I
I
thought
could
they
be.
were.
No, there was one that was a city guard. There was at least one that was a city guard. I think you're right. The
I
one
thought
on
there
the other
was.
side of the gate.
Yeah, I thought there was a couple through the gate, and then that's who she bowled over on, or he bowled over on the way through. Sorry, change characters. I can't remember.
I will say what Shaujr is going to do. He's going to try and stay separate because we were separated and we were not a single target. And he's going to look for some rooftops to climb up on, some fences to jump, because that's what barbarians do. They jump and they climb. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's
and then
right.
head towards the
Shaujr
jump bucket.
would know, yeah, where to go though. So it sounds like there might be some disagreement like on where to head, right? So I think let's just go ahead and do turn order, and then everybody can go in the direction, and eventually we'll get you all where you need to be. But before you roll your initiative, let me get your tokens out here. Let's see. Some of these are gonna be bigger than others. Alright.
That'll be fine.
And Griff. Alright, so we're all basically on the road here. I'll just, for now, put your party token at the gate, on the other side of the gate, and put you all just inside of the gate. So you can go ahead and roll initiatives now, and then this will just allow me to track what each person's movement is. It's not necessarily an opponent, is what I'm trying to say. See?
I should have done it as initiative. I just rolled a d10. Sorry about that.
That's right.
Same thing.
I can add you.
I do that half the time anyway, Molly.
Yeah.
I often just don't even open the character sheet.
There we go. So I think Kurza, you're the only other initiative roll.
Let's see here. How do we do initiative again? Let's see.
So I did it. I created a
There we
weapon
are.
called initiative and
Yeah,
subtracted my dexterity from it.
I did something like that too. Come on, where is it? There we go.
Okay, perfect. All right, this kind of works out because I think some of you had differing ideas on where to go, and honestly, I know it's probably not your preference to split the group, but if that should happen here, it makes a lot of sense in given the situation. Everybody can act as they want to, or as in concert. I'll leave
Or
that
not.
to you all to decide. But Seharn, you'll be first. So you basically would be running through the gate at the right time as well, to where you get first choice on where you think is the best place to head.
I am going to encourage us all just to stay together, and we were right outside the gate here, correct? Can't think that because there's characters.
Yeah, you're just on the inside of the harbor district, out of the Great Way. Yep.
I'm going to encourage us to just run down the street as a group, get the heck out of Dodge. As I understand it, we're going back to the Underdark to get out of town. We're going back to our permanent portal, I believe. That's where I suggest we head to.
Okay, so where does Seharn go then from here? What direction? Okay.
This way.
All right. Perfect. Kurza, what are you thinking? It's definite chaos, and I would say the other thing to describe to Kurza is that feeling of that great evil now is washed away, and you feel more of the urgency of the moment and the fact that whatever you've done and whatever's just happened is severe. What would be your first thought here?
Well, I have full recollection of what happened, right?
Yeah, you do. You know exactly what you did. Yeah, you know exactly.
Okay.
You just don't know why you did it.
Do you feel bad? You feel bad?
I feel confused.
Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
would.
What the hell was that, and why was it controlling me? That's what they warned us about, and it happened.
So what direction would you head in, or who would you be? Whose lead would you be?
Who's ahead of me? Let me put it that way.
I think you're all spread out as you stumbled through the gate. Kurza, or I'm sorry, Seharn is the first one who's just taken off, and he's going south towards the southern gate.
I'll go that way.
Okay. Put you behind him.
So he's under Nod's arm.
Who's that?
Nod
Kurza.
was
Oh,
carrying.
I'm sorry. You're right. He was carrying you.
Yeah, Nod scooped him up and, excuse me, and went through the gate behind everyone else or with everybody.
So I guess at this point, Kurza, the fact that you're back to normal, would you try to have Nod drop you? And Nod, would you drop him, or would you continue to hold him because you're afraid that he might cause more harm?
That is a good question.
Oh, I'm just going to stand there, or just
You're gonna roll with
I'll
it.
not
say it's
struggle, and just
50,
say, I
50.
think I've returned to normal now, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
No, I think Nod is still
Or
going to hold on to
fortunately,
him.
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
they
no, I
told
think
us
Nod
that.
is still going to hold on to him.
That's fine. They warned us this might happen, and I
All
didn't
right.
think it would be that quick.
All right, Griff. What are your thoughts? Whoop, I think we lost you, Tim. Are you back?
Trying to come back.
There you are.
Yeah,
Back.
we hear you.
There you go. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Are we with me? All right. I didn't hear what Nod did.
Nod's gonna
Sorry.
keep kind of holding on to Kurza for now. But right? Is that right?
Okay. Based on what I sent you in DM and everything, is there any other information I need to know based on what I did for the 2 days? Those guys were the 5 days they were
Did you get
doing other
my
stuff.
whisper in Roll20? If not, I can send it.
Okay, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, that's sort
All
of
right.
the yeah.
I yell out. I say, "I know a safe place. Follow me," and I'll head toward that.
Okay. All right.
The place that I know of.
All right. I'll mark.
And I have Bart on my shoulder.
Okay. Let me mark this for you.
I'm interested to see which way that token moves.
Back towards the guards.
I have it in the wrong. Hold on, it's right here. So you'll see it is down here.
So I start heading that way. I don't know how far I can make it.
Yeah, that's good for now. We'll just kind of get you guys in a general movement.
So yeah, that's what I do. I say, "I know a safe place. Follow me."
Okay. Shaujr, you have two of your party running off, and you have all the memory of Mithra, so you have a lot of choices as well.
Yeah, I thought of it as he has not necessarily like first-hand memory, but like she told him everything that happened, and like they share something, but they're not. It's not exactly the same as if he experienced it.
Not like a photographic type of feeling.
Like,
yeah,
it would be one of those like where I remember a dream.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it. But I just heard Griff say that he knows of a safe place, so I am going to follow Griff.
Okay.
This is
And
getting
looking for, if there's any high ground I can take. Like,
I mean, you
roof hopping kind of thing.
I think there's definitely spots where you could get up on the roofs, but maybe you wouldn't be able to jump roof to roof for very long.
For long, yeah,
but
yeah.
you
So
could
I'll just follow him,
you could a little bit.
catch
but-
up with him.
Okay. All right, move you over to following Griff for now. And all right, that brings up an interesting two-person play here with Nod. What's Nod thinking?
Nod would probably follow the mass of people. I think that's what he would
All right.
intended on doing,
Okay.
following the group, because he's not quite sure where to go, so he's following the majority.
All right. It's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit then it's back to Seharn basically, and as this has happened, Seharn, that the group has gone a different way, but
Yeah, I
if
noticed
you
that.
if you could roll a wisdom check, I'll give you a chance
Oh, if I
to
can.
observe.
Or try to maybe if I could make my way through the buildings here.
Yeah, that's
Maybe,
exactly
maybe
what I was thinking, is that you're going to try to find a way through, and we'll use your wisdom to see if you're able to navigate a way through.
unfortunately, yeah, yeah. Why not? I get a +3 on it. No, that would be a wisdom check. Well,
Oh,
that
great
maybe I
roll.
should.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Woohoo!
you basically can squeeze your way through some of the buildings and cut across to
I mean, he's
reach
tiny.
this other side. You are tiny. This comes in
Just
handy.
kind of pop out here. There you are.
Yeah. So
Why
you
did you
What
run
took you so
away?
long?
Why are you going this way?
he knew not of the you knew not of the safe house
It's
that
not
he's
the way
seeking.
out of this city. I thought that's where we were going.
Okay.
Where are
So
we going?
we're back. We're back to you, Griff. We can play out this part here then, where you follow the information you were given. There's an alleyway that you take off the main road, and it leads into a small area where there are some barrels sitting out front, and sitting in the barrels are like some old, what look like some old rusted up weapons, right? More like decoration. They're just sitting out, things you wouldn't even waste your time trying to fix type of stuff. And that you recall as being like you're in the right place. And so there is a door that you see in this little corner of the alley that's near this barrel. And from what you recall, you should go and knock on the door, is what you were told.
All right, I do that.
And after a moment, the door cracks open, and you see a young man, looks like a young human, probably a teenage boy, who looks out from the edge and says, "Can I do for you?" And you're like trying to remember, what was it that I was supposed to say? What was I supposed to tell him? And so I'm going to have you make a wisdom check to see how well you
Great.
remember.
Any modifiers?
I think we'll just go flat for now, since there you go.
Hey.
You're right on. Flat is right. Okay. So you're going to say the shadows guard the light.
The shadows guard the light.
And the boy's face, he turns from looking kind of meek to a little bit more like stoic, and he unlatches the door and opens it, and he says, "Come in." What is
And
what?
I'll wave to the. Obviously, I have a body on my shoulder, but I wave to the rest of the group, and I say that they're all with me. We need help.
Come in. At this point, you guys begin to hear the sound of bells ringing in the streets. And you know that's typically a part of the sort of alarm system, if you will, of when the veil comes. And in this case, you suspect that it's being set off for a different reason. The echo of the bells ringing starts at this point, and you all start to make your way into the alleyway towards the door. And I'll let you guys all basically, let's have you roll. Let me have everybody roll a dexterity, or if anyone has anything around trying to, basically I'm trying to figure out how obvious were you all just running down the streets, and would it be really easy for people to see, oh yeah, like 6 people just ran into that alley, or were you spread out enough, or did you pace yourselves enough that you made it less obvious? So I'm looking to get a sense from everyone if you can do a dex check on how
Okay.
well you.
The dex or wisdom, maybe.
Probably charisma, really. Probably charisma at the end of the day, because it's like a performance thing. But I'll let you guys decide. We'll let you each decide what you think makes the most sense without.
I'm going with my better roll. There's a dex.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh man,
Mm.
critical failure.
And it makes a little bit
Did
of
I-
sense that the barbarian would stick out a little.
Yeah,
Always use
I got
a reroll.
cold.
Yeah, do you want to re-roll it? You still don't have that great of a chance. Is there any way I can help with it by staying behind when I yelled this way and guiding people through and waving people through?
This is a little bit more of just like how
Oh,
Shaujr
obvious.
is yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have any hide and shadow, stealth roll,
No.
stealth proficiencies like that?
Reroll to get away from the critical failure.
I'm gonna re-roll. Yeah, I can hide in the mountains, but that's about it.
So Nod, you had done the dex check. You're good on that. Again, I think that's for you. This is one of the easier things, just
All right, go
trying
Molly.
to stay
Did
hidden.
you say I could use wisdom?
Yeah, if you want to use wisdom. Yeah, if you want to use
All right.
wisdom.
I mean, I have a little bit of better chance.
Maybe that's.
But it's not a critical failure.
It's not a critical
Either way, you would
failure.
have failed.
But
Either
Yeah.
way,
yeah.
you would have failed.
So
Yeah, it's meant to be.
yeah. So
So I'm
it's
just gonna try and.
So people are probably watching Shaujr go by on the rooftops, going, "Why is that guy?"
yeah. Why does he keep climbing the roof and then running and then climbing down and then running?
Yeah.
Yeah. You might stick out a little bit like a sore thumb, and it's not your forte to be stealthy or
No.
to hide like it is for others who also feel out of place, but they're able to sneak through, and it's okay. It's basically just letting me know who might have been seen, and so you do all make your way
Important
into the
exercise.
alley.
I
and-
guess it's
Mhm.
guess it's not an everyday occurrence where you see somebody just parkouring their way down the street for
Yeah,
no apparent
exactly.
reason.
Yeah, like why are they doing this? And it's not like just them doing it. You're
Yeah.
also like, I don't know how far ahead you might have been, but
Nothing to worry about. We're just running at full speed into this alley for no reason with bodies on our shoulders.
Who knows? There might be other people running around too.
Do you
Hey,
think those bells are for us?
the
I wonder.
boy says to you, and he's looking at you, Griff, mainly. He says, "What aid do you need, friend?"
And that's going to depend on some of the other narrative that I provided, but basically it's
Not be
our-
found.
yeah, two of our yeah, one, we've recently run into some trouble with some foreigners in the city, and it involves a curse placed on a couple of our party members.
I see. And so those bells ring for you.
to hide.
Perhaps.
We can always offer Harper and his allies safe haven. And with that, he moves over to the corner of this small room that you're in and slides a piece of furniture and reveals a little trapdoor in the floor. And he says, "Make your way down then. They'll be knocking soon, I'm sure." And he opens up this hatch, and you make your way down this ladder into what is actually a pretty open underground cellar, and it looks like there's enough room down here that you could sleep about 8 people comfortably. It's set up like a small barracks, and when you're in there, I think for the others who are in there, you might notice at this point that there are some symbols and decorations on the wall, including that of a silver harp, which would be prominently displayed in this open area.
That's good.
So I think you guys might understand a little bit more of what Griff was able to learn and where he's brought you.
You're a connected guy, aren't you, Griff?
Yeah, I think Seharn's going to ask him to explain a little more.
Are we going to keep going in party order, or do you want me to just
No,
go ahead and
go
jump
for it.
in?
I just wanted to make sure you got to a safe place.
Yeah, I'll put Bart's. I'm assuming Bart passed out or something at this point. I'll lay him down and ask Seharn to make sure Bart's okay.
But I want to
And,
heal.
yeah,
you talk,
and
I'll heal. I'll heal you.
Yeah, and then I guess I'll turn to the rest of them when I say it's not. It hasn't been a secret that I am a Harper, and I've been sent on a mission by them to do certain things. And then while the rest of you were, doing your resupply and everything, I was also exploring and trying to make contacts within the city. Though the city is not my place and still very unfamiliar to me, I know a couple places and a couple contacts that may be able to benefit us. Also, Seharn and Kurza, when we first met, remember that we understood what would happen should we bust through a gate like we just did, that they would close all the other gates.
Yep.
That's why I chose to come here instead.
Oh, so we may never have gotten out of the city.
I would have
I
had
hope we
to
can
Now
trust
I
him.
understand.
mud down the next gate too.
Yeah, it would have been another battle to get out. It really would have been another. You would have had to pull out all your rabbits from the hat.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and I'll turn toward Shaujr and say I am, though I don't know you, I know your sister, and I don't know that, and I don't. Griff doesn't know. I haven't even spoken with Shaujr. All I did was see Shaujr rise when Imithra disappeared. That's all I know. But I honor her, and this is her sword. And I guess I can take that opportunity to give Shaujr her sword and say, "This is the sword that killed the Lich Veritas. It rightfully belongs to you."
At first, you see him like he seems like kind of touched, and then like when he goes to take it, he just winces and like recoils from it, and he says, "Yeah, you hang on to that, and we'll bury that since we don't have her body."
Okay. And then I'll turn to Seharn and say, and tell him that I know that because I was still there when you were raised, that you did have some lessening of your constitution, whatever term we want to use. And the magical armor that we got from the Umber Hulks may help with that. I'll gladly give it to you.
No, that's what you don't understand. The magic, I find it very offensive.
This is for Seharn.
Honestly, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right.
Thank you, Griff. It may help.
So
My spirit is somewhat weakened, but I'm
So I'll
still
go ahead
going
and
to be alive.
give that. So if you want, you can mark on. I'll give you that, and it's the leather armor of endurance. So it's +1 AC and +1 con.
Excellent.
So I will take that
Very
off my
nice.
character sheet. So I'm back to Jamie. I don't know if I had the opportunity to get any leather armor or anything, but if not, just let me know.
Yeah, no, you can definitely get leather armor during that time, and I think that again, like just any standard leather would be easy to come by. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll take leather armor of endurance.
The other thing is that you wanted to trade I think you wanted to trade your hand axe in,
Yeah.
and you can exchange that as well.
Okay, cool. So I'll have a +1 tomahawk instead of hand axe.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like Christmas down here in the cellar of the Harper safe house. What else? Anybody else have?
Kind of cozy.
Yeah, right. You feel safer here, certainly, than on the street level. And I think what might occur to you, what really might register here for you, is how well used it is, which would let you make it known to you that there's a whole, path of people that are using this pretty regularly. Happen to be the only ones here at the moment, but it seems like it's well used. Take that for what it is.
No.
It's definitely comfortable and has a lot of.
No other exits, Jamie?
In this, there is another exit out of this. So on the far end, there's a couple of rooms in here where the sleeping quarters are, and on the far end, there's another ladder that leads up, and next to the ladder it says sewer next to it. So you know that would lead up to
Aha.
a sewer entrance or exit from this little safe house. So, but for now, it's all shut. There's a latch over that, and it's closed, and you feel pretty well hidden. They do close the latch above you. Excuse me, in the house itself. You're all down here, and I don't know how long you're going to lay low, but at some point or another you suspect that the door will open and someone will tell you the coast is clear. Is maybe what you're waiting for, but I would say you have several hours down here to talk about or do anything else that you wanted to. Anyone else have anything they wanted to talk about?
That helps us catch up with each other and get on the same page, and
Yep.
maybe talk to Kurza about what the hell happened.
And
True.
how's Bart doing? He's right.
Yeah,
He's
I'm just sitting in the back watching everybody talk for the moment. And does the tattoo appear any different?
You're right.
Stronger, lighter,
great
changed?
question. Roll a
Does it change its what's the word I'm looking for here? Its look.
It's got a little
appearance.
one next to it.
it's got like a counter for everyone killed.
Yeah.
I would say that it's noticeably darker.
Ooh.
Noticeably darker. It's not. It was like a light bluish tone before, and it's become darker.
Was I able
Oh,
to?
so the tattoo is now much more pronounced, so to speak.
It is. It is. It's more. It's just got more contrast because of the dark blue.
Great.
So you can wrap that
Just
thing up,
great.
and if you show that to others or whatever, I don't know if you would, but definitely you would see that, and as would Bart. So
They might see me looking at it, but everybody knows I have it, I think, at this point,
yeah.
along with Bart. So it's not a surprise, but
Yeah. What
it's
would
it's not a different temperature or anything like that, though, is it?
No, it feels the same as it was. Doesn't feel tingly or burning or anything crazy. What would Nod be doing during this time?
I think he has a cask of ale with him. A keg of ale with him. I think he would be finding some place nice and comfortable to sit somewhere closer to the shadows and starting to tap into his keg of ale and kind of grumble that they haven't made it out the city yet. And but that's about it.
about what time do we estimate it is? You said we were down here a couple hours.
Let's see. That battle yesterday, or on the same day here, I would say it's getting into the evening hours for sure. It'd be heading into evening. So, if there's nothing else anyone else is wanting to pursue necessarily or strategize about, we can cut to the hatch opening. So the far hatch that you all had come through will open, and through it you'll see the boy climbing down the ladder and then towards the steps and into the room. And he's gonna bring a plate down, wooden plate that's covered in meats and cheeses and other foods, and he's gonna set it on the table for you all. And he'll say, I have more coming, some bread and other things, but they've come and gone. I'm sure they'll be back and patrolling throughout the evening, but you're safe here.
Bring us some wine.
I might be
Or
able
at
to
least-
round up some wine. I'll see what we have. I'll see what we have and what the master will share.
Or
But-
at least bring some empty cups right away. We still have that bottle, don't we? The ever full water.
Oh
Not
yeah,
So
have
you
a
do.
whole keg of
Cup.
ale.
That's right. Nod could build a little mini bar in here.
Yeah.
So, is that the plan, Nod? Is it time? You sick of carrying that barrel yet?
Oh, he's already tapped into that keg. He's
Yeah.
already sipping on it right now, like in the
Okay,
corner, brooding
perfect.
because we have him yet to make it out.
Are you just like drinking out of the keg?
Yeah, he's just picking up with one arm, just pouring it into the infinite water cup and sipping it.
Shaujr is just gonna take that plate of meat and cheese as if it was just for him, and he's gonna start eating it.
Nice. You could probably crush the whole thing in just a couple minutes.
This is good. Yeah, bring
Yeah,
some more.
yeah.
Hey, I'll steal a couple pieces off of that and a large.
I could feed
cup
the
of
rest of
meat.
us.
The boy says to you again, the master knows you're here and he'll be down to say hello. I'll fetch some more food and cups and everything I can find, but stay comfortable and you'll be safe here. So
Didn't we find a flask though one time, like an ever full flask?
I'll be right back.
No, it was a cup.
The cup?
yeah,
Okay, we still
Yeah.
have that cup.
yeah, Brandon or
Yeah.
Rod's got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Water.
I've got it, and oh my goodness,
yeah.
Have
Ever
all
good
the
Add
with
in a
water, huh?
candle.
Could survive
don't get
for
too drunk.
a long time.
No, I gave the candle, sold the candle. I want to say.
Yeah, Kurza, don't forget. Remember, you have that belt of infinite pouches that you had the library in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
part of what Baden took. So we just need to remember that.
Right, books from room 10 or something.
Yeah, you had all the notes from Veritas from the one room, and then
I
you had
think
all
he
the
turned them
alchemy
in.
books. Yeah, but
I
you
think he
also
turned
had
some
all
of
the
them in.
yeah, and you had all the alchemy books from the tower too in that one library.
I remember there was
They're all
one
in your
Yeah.
pouches.
where you just said you were going to take a big book and stuff one in each pocket.
Well,
Yeah.
he has that. It's like a pouches of holding.
Yeah,
The belt of many pouches.
Yeah,
right. Yep, you were going to fill each pouch with a book.
Yep. Pouch or papers, depending. I have a map of the tower and some papers. The Madar papers.
good. Yep, you had all that.
Mm,
Yeah,
a
so
book with flowers.
they will.
Elven papers.
Yeah.
Let's see. Paper written notes from the fire knives in
So I don't know how much of that we gave
Procampur here.
to the library and then Baden took, but
Yeah.
just make sure we're aware of that because that's useful information for anybody that we can trade with.
I have a bag of holding too.
Yeah, so you guys have some time here. You're able to rest and contemplate your next move. They bring you some more bread. They bring you some mugs. They might scramble up some sort of sour wine. Nothing that might be to your liking, but at the same time, I think you've got a lot of options here and you feel safe and well taken care of. But they've kept the hatch closed up after they're saying that until the morning they might keep the hatch closed, and he advises you that the other if you do want to leave at any time, that you can make your way through the far end and up into a sewer exit. So if you just follow the other hatch up and out, so if you ever need to just go, you're not trapped in here by any means. But as far as making contact with the safe house, that's up to them because they're controlling the hatch. Anybody else have anything else they want to?
No,
Just
I
sit
don't
and
relish.
drink a lot of ale.
Yeah, I don't relish a sewer exit. That sounds nasty.
We're hoping that
Where
some of the heat from the guards calms down while we're idling away here.
Yeah, I think you're feeling like the temperature up above is going to cool off at some point, but yeah, what your next move is and what your next step is, you're not maybe 100% sure.
Yeah, and I guess I would want it. I'm sorry.
No, good.
I was going to say I would want to turn to the group and say my understanding from when I caught up to you guys is that you were trying to head back to the portal. I wasn't able to find Baden. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's in town or he's left. I know we had another contact here in the harbor district named Furbis that we could make contact with. He may have some other resources we can use to get out of the city, or I can ask if there's a way for us to get out of town and bypass the gate and head back to the Underdark. But I don't know what our purpose is there in the Underdark other than further exploration of Myth-Nantar, or did we want to search for this Cullen person?
I'm all for killing off all of the fire knives and their compatriots. And all of these other organizations too.
I'll turn to Kurza and also say, look, there are potentials for the Harpers or maybe even Furbis to know somebody, and I'll glance at Nod on how to remove curses. We do have information and things and knowledge and access to the Underdark that we can trade in return.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would take the sword back to my homeland, but I have no interest in going back there. I don't want to talk about that. But it's also a fitting warrior's burial if we bury the sword in honor of Imithra where she fell. If we can head back into the Underdark.
She fell in the
She
tower
fell in
that's
the
underwater.
tower. We have to get into the
But
tower.
Here's
It's
the
only
thing.
a couple thousand feet down. That's
Yeah,
all.
it's all good. We can hold our breath. It's cool.
We have
We
a
got
portal back to
We
the
have
tower.
some moss. But what I would say is, Shaujr, in order to honor what we could potentially do is in the glade, or in what we now call Kurza's Cove, we could make that a Mithra's Rest or something like that, and make that area her shrine, because that was our salvation and she was a major part of that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's a wonderful idea. Seharn is interested in Kurza. Before he went taken over, if he felt any sensation, any awareness, would you be able to alert us if such an attack was coming on again?
Ah, that's good.
Maybe 2 or 3 seconds, but that's about it.
So nothing.
Nope, is almost immediate.
We're just
Maybe
going
we
to have
should
to.
tie him up.
Yeah.
It just crept up my arm, and my arm
That's what I
started
wanted.
grabbing things.
Oh, Shaujr may be right. Yeah.
Would it? So I guess in modern times, and I don't know if anybody's been around somebody that's had a seizure, like an epileptic seizure. Is it something like that? Would it be something akin to kind of know something feels weird, but
yeah, I think
you're out?
if you were all paying attention, you would see that he was acting out of the ordinary. He was definitely not acting in a normal manner. Even the way he held and shot the bow looked like it was a different form and a different person in his body.
Which is going to look really weird to me because I'm not aware that he's learned new skills. He was a mage the last time I met him.
Yeah, but he can't hey guys, I think I'm going to have getting depressed here. I might be having an episode. That's not going to happen. It's just going to be boom.
Yeah, I think you'd have to have your head on a swivel to know that he's near somebody that is potentially gonna trigger this. It's a proximity thing.
One of those, hey Kurza, you don't look right. Fireball.
Yeah, as we're perilously navigating the rope across the lava pit, that's when he snaps.
Just slap me or something. Grab my hands to make the spell fail or something.
I think there is just something sweet about the fact that I think is probably got the most versatile powers and skills, and yeah, keeping him under control is definitely more challenging than for most of you, where you could just take their weapons away or tie their hands or something. But I think even with the mage, it's just tough. There's no real way to.
How strong is Nod and our grip?
You just gotta grab my hands and keep me from moving them the way I need to.
Yeah, you'd have to disrupt his spell in the future. It's probably something you could account for in your party order.
That's what I'm saying.
Put someone who's very perceptive, who's got alertness behind Kurza. Don't put Kurza in the back of the group. Don't put Kurza probably in the front of the group.
Able to speak
maybe
on my own.
With that.
Sure.
Was I able to speak on my?
No, during that time, you were just like glassy-eyed, staring off. You weren't saying anything. You didn't feel
I couldn't
any.
even. I could not say anything
No,
if I wanted.
yeah, he had no ability to speak. You were just so locked in on destroying
Just
evil. You were on that borderline of just being in a frenzy of, yeah, is the way I would put it. Similar to maybe the way a barbarian would throw that switch and lose a little bit of control.
what's your dex, Nod? Brandon, what's Nod's dex? Just station you next to him, and if he goes off, do a called shot. Just pop him right in the forehead and knock him out.
14.
Just
Yeah.
one punch him. Stay by
So, after a while, the hatch opens again. In fact, we're gonna say this is maybe in the middle of the night, and you've all been resting and drinking and eating and staying low here. But eventually, you hear the hatch open, and you hear some footsteps coming down. And at that point, you see a older man who is dressed pretty humbly, and he comes down into the basement, and you see him like complaining about a squeaky step. I have to fix this damn step. And hello friends. I understand that our home may have been a safe haven for you this evening. I hope you've been able to rest your feet and enjoy yourselves, knowing that the threat is somewhere outside and not in here. But I am Dayron, and this is my modest abode that I choose to share with Harper's. And he looks at you, Griff. Dayron? I'll paste it in. Dayron? And he looks at you, Griff, and says, You carry the weight of purpose. I can see it in your face. I've heard a little of your exploits. And however we may aid you in escaping the city, we will do, but I don't have a lot of other resources at the moment to throw at the problem. I think it may be best for us to try to smuggle you out, if that's your intention. But what is your intention? Where do you hope to be?
I'm going to bow to him and say my thanks indeed, and we very much appreciate the assistance and aid you've rendered. I'll turn to the party and say, what path should we take?
Oh, I pull out a map of a castle and say, I want to go here and just explode things. Problem is, I don't know where this castle is at.
So, sorry,
Anybody have any clue?
Drink.
I'll be right back. 60 seconds. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Me too.
We took this from the lair up on the mountain, and it was a location of where one of their bases are, the people who put these tattoos on us. And I don't know where the castle itself is, but this is the map of it.
Which lair are you talking about?
There was a lair on the top of the mountains that was as we were crossing south into Procampur.
Is that with the ghouls?
Yeah, Noel, we found the fire knives in their little hideaway, because we went to the very top of the mountain.
Okay.
And we found.
It was snowy.
Call it a. Yeah.
The one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the snow and the hideaway.
Wow, that's a good callback. You remember the map of the castle?
I have
but
the
we didn't
map,
know where
damn
it was at. Yeah.
I have a feeling like some of those episodes were before I was here.
They were.
They were.
Yeah.
That's why I'm being as descriptive as I can. But I think the undead were on top of the mountain near the worship place.
Oh yeah, you guys
but
went.
Then once we opened it,
place.
There was a little secret hole.
Yeah, I remember
into. Yeah. And they apparently do a lot of watching of the areas from the top of these mountains. So maybe we should start destroying things.
We'll sniff them out. Yeah.
after what you've been through, it makes sense that you would want to
It's revenge time.
strike back because, yeah.
Do you think there's anything that would help lead you to the ultimate ending if we pursue the center of the Underdark? We never went through that center of the tower maze.
Oh, to get to Myth Nantar?
Yeah. Or would you rather? Or
Oh, just my observation. So we could chase down the Cullen guy, try to find Baden. You go back to the Underdark, or we can try to fix the tattoos and nod whatever curse or whatever you also have while we're in an
Oh.
area that could possibly potentially have resources to do that.
Alternatively, we just have Shaujr just knock off the lower half of my arm with his axe, and then we can burn that part of the arm and see what happens.
then we just get a mage to make, or we find a ring of regeneration, and in a few weeks you'll be fine.
Or we get a mechanical
Bart-
arm from one of the from the gnomes or something, and
Remember, Bart has
don't
the
know.
same curse.
yeah,
Also, this is 2E, not 5E. So
I think we've been drinking too much. If
Yeah.
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 Yeah, if you start talking about cut off limbs and solutions, I think you might
That's right.
cork the bottle. But Daron will mention to you that if you decide to turn yourself into the city, I will plead with the Harper elders to have them be as merciful as they can be, given whatever you have done.
Turn ourselves in. That's ridiculous.
Revenge
Turn
first.
ourselves in.
I don't know.
I'm just
Are
saying
we all
that he would
particularly wanted?
offer that.
I know, I
He's
know.
not
So I'll-
suggesting that though. He doesn't
Yeah,
understand.
So on,
If I
I'll
turn
turn the
myself
party.
in, they can have my arm, and I'm going to go elsewhere for revenge.
I'll nod to Darren again and bow to him and say thank you for the offer. I don't think that's the path we'll choose at this time. Guys, have we decided which way we're going to go? Do we want to try to stay here and fix the tattoos and sneak around? Do we want to try to find Furbis? Do we want to go back to the Underdark?
Yeah, you've got
We-
several doors in front of
Refresh
you.
me on Furbis, please.
Furbis, when when Kurza and Seharn and I first met, right after you guys, we had the big battle with the fire knives, and Kurza and Seharn and I ran to this district. Can't remember which one of you. I think it was Seharn. You knew of Furbis.
I made a
Yeah.
contact. He was a
You had
contact.
made, he was
yeah.
your contact when you first came out of the sea, and you rolled 100 to remember exactly where he was, and he was at the Chum Bucket. And we went to the Chum Bucket, and he's a dwarf who was very interested in any underground civilizations or anything like that that had to do with dwarves and things, Nantar type things. And he said, if you bring me back that information, I'll be very interested and potentially reward you guys. So I haven't been able to go back and make contact with him. While you guys were shopping, I was making contact with the Harpers. Remember, because I was after Madar or blood, and I had the Madar blood, and I said I found this, and I told him everything that we had learned about the towers and Myth Nantar and everything. That's the favor we're using right now.
Got it.
I don't have any money, by the way, so
I hardly
yeah.
have
like-
any either.
I have
We're all
130 gold. I never took any of the party treasure or anything like that. So I've only ever had whatever gold I've had. So all of this is done with favors so far.
I
So
don't even-
that's why I was reminding Kurza, you still have all this information. That's just as good as gold for some of the people that would be able to
Yeah.
remove curses, do some of the stuff.
So Daron would offer. He would say to you, if counsel from Furbis is what you seek, I could try to seek him out and see if he would come. I could send word and possibly have him come here to visit you.
I think
I'm all for
we might
that.
need guidance.
And
Staying
he's
here,
gonna
friend.
Yeah, so he's going to have a lot of contacts, from what I understand, as well in the city from a money perspective.
The question then becomes, what do we want from him?
Good point. So
Yeah,
we need to
that's-
figure that part out too.
I think what we're really looking for is an immediate focal point to attack whoever has controlling interest of our friends through these tattoos. Basically, we're just not sure where to go, are we? You said stay here in the city. I don't think there's anything here for us, but we'll either go back to Underdark or maybe take Chris's option and just start creating chaos where we know they'll come after us and then we can weasel the information out of them somehow.
Yeah.
So I would again say yes, Darren. We would, if you could make contact with Furbis, I would love to give the information that I've gathered to him as I'd promised.
Very well. I will send word, and we will see if Sir Furbis has the gall to come visit. I know he's a busy man.
Who
But
knows? Maybe he's not that
Busy
busy.
dwarf.
You find yourself in quite a predicament. I know not what you did, but I know that there is a great deal of intensity in finding you. So we
You
must
don't want to know. You want plausible deniability.
indeed. We will continue to keep you here as long as we can, but just know that Furbis, it may not be easy for Furbis to get here either, so we'll do our best.
Remind him we are trying to help two that are cursed. We may not have any time. This is urgent. Hopefully
Has he
that'll
been
get
able to
us out.
see either Kurza or Bart's arm?
I think that would be the prompt right there, that if you're opening up to him about the curse, you might have been talking about it a little bit in these moments that he's lurking around anyway. It seems like you're openly planning and talking about everything. I think he would become interested in it. And Kurza, if you would be
I'll
willing
just
to...
roll up my sleeve and say, this is the control that I have been placed under.
There you
And
go.
show him the
And we can explain where it took over his mind. That's how the uproar started.
and I have no control over it. It just, when they want to, they apparently can take control of everything, including I can't speak. They do. I'm nothing but an automaton.
If I'm right, from
Hmm.
I don't know what sessions ago, but didn't we have some information that eventually that will just be permanent, right?
No, I'll die of it or
So-
something like that. I think.
So
I'll
the elder Daeron will reach over towards your arm, Kurza, and he'll hold your wrist and turn your arm to take a closer look at this, and he'll say, I'd hoped to never see such a mark again in my lifetime. Chaos bound to your flesh.
One time it's been used, it's now darker than it was previously.
Seharn is worried and doesn't
So I'm
understand.
not sure what that means to break it. If
This bond carries a heavy price, and rarely is it paid by the one who chose to forge it. He says,
I have to assume using such magic as this is not only probably a powerful spell, but to exercise the control necessary once it's placed would also require high level magic, not just a simple word, but I think it probably requires some significant effort on their part. Otherwise,
yes,
they just have me walking around as an
is-
automaton all the time.
This is an ancient magic that has been put upon you. There
Great.
are few who would have the power to remove such a thing. Perhaps the effect could be minimized, but removal would require knowledge that we have lost in the depths below. Only a breakthrough in discovering new magic or a combination of very powerful magic could we offset this curse.
Does
Seharn
it
said
allow them
somebody
to?
must know.
Does it
Somebody
allow
must
them
know.
to track me?
I think your actions will make you be found more than your location. I think the chaos that
So
you
I
will.
just happened to be in the presence when they were watching what was going on, and they suddenly realized that the two of us had the link or the curse, and they decided to activate them. Interesting.
Uh,
Which means it's fairly easy for them to activate.
Yeah, I guess Griff may speak up a little bit at this point and just say, Darren, any information you can provide regarding these tattoos would be welcome. And to Kurza, I say it may have been pure proximity to the target that triggered it. We don't know.
Just as a mechanical element, though, too, Chris, it may be a thing where, like, it's overwhelming now and instantly controls you, but over time, the saving throw resistance may build up. Let's just be hoping on nothing here, but
Yeah, so Daron would be, again, his understanding of it is that it's an ancient magic, and in order to offset it, it would require knowledge of that ancient magic, which, as far as he is involved, that's not in his sphere of contact. He
somebody
says, though,
knows.
whoever can fix this for you is not in this town.
That much I figured.
I would urge you to leave Procampur if you seek to remove this curse. I think your proximity to people is your greatest danger at the moment.
That still leaves us the same question, my friends. Where do we go?
Ancient magic.
You
Sounds
think
like Myth
Furbis
Nantar.
could point us in the direction
Yeah.
we need to go? Like,
So I still would like to meet with Furbis to find out what he knows and to also provide the information we promised we would.
and maybe we could give Daron some kind of token from that we brought from there, one of the ancient coins or something,
Yeah.
just to show that we're like,
Yeah.
for real, to make it more likely for him to come.
Well, break time too, guys.
That's interesting. That's an interesting point. If you send maybe
that's a good
one of your coins along to let Furbis know that not only do you just want to talk to him, but you have some things to talk to him about, I think that
And
I can
soon.
draw a map.
Yeah.
And soon, very soon, we want him to come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris,
Okay.
somewhere with Chris's stuff or something, we may have some interesting books and papers for him too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you might want to
I'm
come
sure.
see it.
Yeah, so we'll take a quick break and then we'll have our meeting with Furbis upon our return, and we'll go through that conversation and how he can help you potentially. How's that sound?
Sounds
Yes.
good. So we
I'm
can,
interested in that conversation.
figure out
That'll
exactly what we're gonna ask him.
Okay.
I can assume we rested enough to require the minimal spells.
Yeah, you guys should all be at the point where you're full health, full slot of spells recovered as well.
I only cast two. That one to hold our possessed guy down and one to heal the guy in the coach.
Yeah, and they'll help with healing here. I don't remember or recall if anyone took any significant damage. I don't believe any of you took big hits, but
No,
maybe just
no.
okay.
We
Scrapes,
definitely
a few
did a
scrapes.
little, but yeah, that's not much at
Okay.
all.
We deal damage, we don't take damage.
Yeah, it's a one-way street. All right. We'll take a few minutes and we'll be back, and we'll pick up with Furbis and see what y'all want to do next.
Yeah,
Right.
Tim's forgetting the beholder fight. Be back.
I'm back. I'm just having a bite to eat.
I just
Us West Coasters.
went and grabbed another couple pieces of bread.
All right.
Did we lose Kurza?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, good.
Just rebooting the laptop. That's the original computer I was using. And I've got Discord running on the new one. But for some reason, the camera on neither of them will work. Makes me want to throw things.
He makes you
Or
want to
blow up.
fire
Fire
an
knives.
arrow randomly through a carriage
Yeah.
of nobles. I got you.
No, I think a fireball would have worked better. I didn't have one of those.
Yeah.
That's probably for the best that I didn't have a fireball in my repertoire.
Yeah.
That
Would have
Mhm.
been disastrous.
would have been, yeah. We could have gotten out through the gate, the second gate, anyways, even if we got away, because I could have always mudded the entire wall, and we could find our way out somehow.
That's
But
why
I
I was
prefer
like,
not to do that much damage.
when I saw everything, I was like, we just need to get them away from the Cormyreans. So I was like, grab them and run.
Yeah. I think at this point everybody has pieced together that there's a proximity issue, and if you get too close, you will be compelled to act because the sense of evil is just so you don't change, like you don't become evil. You actually just believe it to be the most evil thing you've ever seen, and you've seen a
Yeah.
lich. So that says a lot.
I thought that was an interesting distinction. I finally caught that part today when you explained that he thought that he fired the arrow because he thought that was
Yeah.
a super evil target, right?
How about
Well, that's actually an interesting turn of phrase too, because that means there's no one actually in control.
No, that's no
It's
proximity.
that means it's just a randomized event.
I'd say
It's
it's
a-
no
not
one-
randomized. I'd say it's programmed.
It's
Well,
programmed.
no, but they didn't tell me to go there and do it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just I happened to be there.
And that's why Dayron is saying stay away from people.
Exactly.
Obviously, we don't trigger it. So
Yeah, it's got more to do
once
with
you got around the Cormyreans, it got triggered. So that was my thinking. I'm like, something happened that the Cormyreans caused this thing to trigger, whatever it is. That's what Griff's thinking.
Let's jump in. We got Furbis has been able to make his way in, and I think he would be a little bit like he may not remember all of you. Like number one, he would remember Seharn, but the rest of you, like might take him a moment to remember you because he sees so many people, and you only really were with him for a few hours in passing. But Seharn, he'd be remembering Griff as well, and Kurza too. I'm just saying, I think his bond with Seharn would be the more immediate thing that as he comes here, Seharn, he would actually come across the room and give you a big squeeze, and he'd say, "You've gotten thinner, friend."
And you've gotten fatter, friend. And I'll give him a big hug.
He says, I take it from your token," and he'll hold out the coin that was sent, "that you've found some more evidence of our ancient past."
We may have found some documents you're interested in, but more importantly, My friends are cursed. And then we have a brief rundown of what just happened. And we need some guidance. We need to find who, where, and seek them out and go cure them.
Yes, the bells, the knocks, the shouting. I hear you. Well
I'm
then,
afraid we caused it, yeah.
then it is good you should find a place such as this. I fear what would have happened to you had they closed in. But
Yeah, not good.
smuggling you out by ship would be somewhere I may be able to help if ultimately you wish to go back to the sea. We have ways of getting cargo aboard, but I still think that in the day ahead it may be too soon for us to try something too bold. But what of your friend's curse? And what is it that I can do
Their
for you?
minds are taken over. This could happen any time. We can't delay. We can't be delayed. We must get out of here. We must leave.
Yeah, show him that castle map.
I'll show him the tattoo. This is what I need to escape from.
And he'll say this makes much more sense. I did not think you to be bandits or those that would attack the city. I'm sure now that whoever it is that has placed this curse upon you would have you target the kingdom of Cormyr for a reason that would be clear once we know what each of these stands for. What notes do you have of your current markings? And so this is where I think you do know a couple of them already.
Yep.
And let me find the...
Well, we found.
We know the fire
Yeah, where's the
knives.
tattoos?
We know the
Yeah, there it is.
guy that the beholder was the watcher.
Yep. Now the fire and the knife are the fire knives. And then the beholder had what? The
Think
circle with the eye?
Mm-hmm. Which is
And-
decay. It's like a decay, ancient decay god.
Yeah.
That's a dark gaze.
and the dark gaze, yeah.
And I think we found the people up in the mountains had these hands with the mouth in them, mouth in it. Was that not the case, Jamie?
I thought it was the other
Oh,
one.
those were fire knives.
Yeah, fire knives you
The
encountered.
red
here.
Wizards of Thay or something like
Yeah,
that.
that was. I think that one was told to you. I don't know that you'd seen that one on, because you saw the dark gaze twice now.
Hmm. Where was the second one?
The first one was what you were just asking about. Was up in the mountains, the Earthfast mountains, with the undead.
Oh,
You know,
that was the one with
cultists.
the beholder were both the same.
And the beholder. Yep. Yep. So
Okay, I misunderstood then. Okay.
but I'm just trying to think if you did. Does anyone else remember placing any of these other?
No, I knew the fire knives and
The dark gaze.
the guy and the one the beholder was the watcher for.
If I had to assume, the Medusa cave is going to be another one of them.
Probably.
We will have to deal with that after all.
Yeah.
And we can share the maps and information we gathered with them as well.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think that this is where Furbis would really pour through this with you and talk through and have a retelling so that he's starting to become more familiar with this. And ultimately, he'll say to you that this is the dark network that has destroyed our underground world and ancient civilizations and now rules them together in an alliance. Everything that this stands for is to benefit them and to continue chaos. And so the act that you have brought to the city was not yours, it was theirs. It was their doing. And the blood is on their hands. It should not be on yours, but I fear that our city may not see it the same way. It would be difficult for you to get a fair trial here.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
So with,
Can you help us get out, Furbis?
we can get you out. We can get you out. Smuggling is certainly something I've become good at here. Whether it's by boat or on the road, I think we have some options, but we'll need to be careful.
If we can go out by road, we have an option that we can use. And if we go by boat, we know of an entrance to the Underdark west of here.
And he'll say that, so yes, I have heard some of this. I have heard a bit of this, and I am a Harper as well, and word gets around amongst the Harper elders. We have very little else to talk of, but we know that your portal, the region where your portal is, of course, but we have no reason to use it. I think this...
No, but we do have another, there's our portal, and then there's another ancient entryway without getting to the bottom of the ocean. So that one may be more circuitous and much longer because we'd have to walk it, but
Yeah,
that might work too.
Regarding... There are only a few ways I can imagine that you may remove that curse from you. I think there are a handful of powerful mages in Faerun who would be able to, but they are few and far between. I think the closest from here would...
convincing them to do it.
Yes, exactly, and I would think that the closest from here would be in Cormyr, which doesn't sound like a place you should be seeking counsel currently. So with that, the only other direction, I am fascinated by what you have found already in your underground exploits. And if you are saying that there are ancient civilizations still to be discovered, and you have caught on to these links and these entryways, I think that is perhaps even more powerful path than trying to track down Elminster, for crying out loud.
Ancient elven and ancient dwarvish cities await us then.
I want to mention to Furbis the interactions we had with Baden, especially at the end. Just say that he was along with us. At the end, we provided a bunch of information to Temple of Ogma. Baden took it. I tried to find him. I couldn't. Tried to leave him a message, but there is some information that resides with him. We don't know his whereabouts. So he may or may not be a danger, but he is a mage of Cormyr as well.
He could be part of one of the 5 groups that set us the tattoo. And just to keep an eye on us and help us out to get his information.
It concerns me that you don't trust him, but if he has all of this knowledge, then he may perhaps be someone who you need. But we will...
I didn't say I don't trust him. I just tell him exactly what happened.
I don't
From my
trust any
perspective.
wizard, to be honest with you.
We will keep our eyes peeled as normal, and our scouts will dig into the matter to see if he has been in the region that you speak of with your portal, but I cannot guarantee that he has not made his way through. We would never know to look out for him. From the sounds of it, he has something that he has revealed, but I know not. Where would you head if you go back?
Probably to Mithnanthar. That's what Nod would suggest. We go down to Mithnanthar. That is where he was headed. I think that's where we will find him.
What's Nod's
Manthar.
feeling on the closure of Fortuan's labyrinth? There's still a couple
There-
people alive down there that may not sit well. I don't know how that sits with Nod.
Yeah, he knows the elder still needs to be taken care of at least. The other guy, Torbeck, I think, was not too bad. We got along. We understood each other. We came to a understanding.
Yeah. Okay.
I sent you a couple messages, Nod, but that would be another reason we could return through our portal to where we left off, continue on to the labyrinth. Remember, there are 3 towers. We've taken down one of the tower of Jornhast as well that was in Bart's dreams, and the other one, which I forget at this point.
I
But
think the one of the towers might be on the one of the islands near
yes,
where we started this.
Pirate Isle, yeah.
Near, yeah, that would lead us to Talmanthar instead. So
I say we visit all these places.
From the central location, we should be able to find all 3, but I don't know how. The central location's Myth and Antar. From what I'm hearing, the people that I've spoken with and that have spoken with us, it's ancient magic that rules your tattoos, and the things that may or may not compel you to do things beyond your control are being around people of this world. I, speaking of Griff, am not at home in the Underdark, but I know my way around well enough to survive. And it's uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable enough that I wouldn't go there with my party and my friends to aid you in removing this curse, and also to potentially help in finding the civilization and ridding this world of the evil which has created these tattoos.
Yes, I believe that you will unlock something that will lead you closer than anyone else could find for you now. Even you would have to take someone and show them your path for them to even have learned what you have seen already. I think you are amongst the most knowledgeable on the matter that exists, and therefore even your memory is valuable. But what it is that you could track your way back to is a place that has riches and knowledge more likely than what I cannot fathom. So I do not send you recklessly into the dark. I only say this because I understand that there are things there that would likely be able to counteract your curse and given your current perception from the in the city and amongst Faerunians, I would think it might be best for you to stay away from city centers for a bit.
indeed, I'd pull out the map of the castle. This castle belongs to the Fire Knives. I do not know where it resides, but we got this map. I'll put it down from one of their lairs on top of the mountains
That's
between
right.
here
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
the city north of us.
I see. So this is somewhere
So
in the Earthfast Mountains, likely,
perhaps,
or near in this
very
region.
likely, but I don't know what it is. I don't have enough knowledge of the area. Perhaps
Hmm.
one of your Harpers can recognize it and find out where it is, and that will give you a place to, I don't know, it's a chink in the
Uh,
armor, so to speak.
yes, I don't personally recognize it, but I know those that might. I think with some quick reference, we could find this castle. Do you suspect that one of these groups inhabits it?
Fire knives,
The Fire Knives. Then yes, I will see what I
or
can find
perhaps
out.
the Dark Gaze, one of the two. But I think we found, was it in the Dark Gaze? They were one of the Dark Gaze is where I found it.
This
We're
one,
in the
yes,
mountains.
this was in that same region when you were fighting the gnolls and everything. I believe that
Yeah.
this came from that same loot that was
Yeah, because we were
taken from
crossing
there.
over the top of the mountains to get to the south side where
Yeah.
we could get to Camper.
Yeah, so you would think that this is either the Fire Knives or the Dark Gaze, but because of the way that story was, I think it was the Fire Knives, from
Yeah,
what I
that's what I
remember. If I'm just forgetting exactly, but definitely that is something that Furbis is. He seems like he almost recognizes it, but he's not 100% sure. But he feels confident that given some time, he could tell you where that is in the region. It's
I
just a
can
matter of
trace it for him, given enough time.
yeah. If he'll make a
Um,
copy, or if one of you makes like a crude enough copy, he'll make that his mission to find out so that when you next meet, or he'll have an answer. Or if you want to stick around for a day or so, it's all up to you all. But yeah, that's a great idea, Chris. That's a good callback,
Make a trace him
actually.
so that he can.
Yeah.
Who wants to use the information himself against the Fire Knives? That's fine. But the information should not be lost or not put to good use.
Yeah, that's just, let me actually
My artistic ability is drawing and painting.
pop us over to the map for a second, because let's just say, because again, I know you guys are going to be laying low in here. It is a safe haven. So the time at this point is really on your side in a way that as long as you stay there and you're not trying to poke your head up, you'll be fine, and you can have these interactions and learn more about this stuff. I want to show you where Furbis discovers where he believes that castle is located. Let's see, we'll make it like this. There we go. I got everyone's camera up over the region. Let's see. There is a area north of the Earthfast Mountains called the Earth Spur Mountains, and in the northern region, you'll see it. It's by the T in Earth Spur Mountains is where that castle is believed to be located.
Somewhere at the top of that mountain.
Yeah, up here. Like, oh, did I
Yeah.
just delete it? Did I delete it? That's weird.
So, yeah, I saw where you're pinging, but
There we go.
yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got the square there. So that's where he believes that castle is. They know that structure. It was an ancient structure that was built by elves, but it hasn't been used by elves in centuries. So what it's being used for now is not clear to him, but so it's interesting to him that you brought it up and that you had a map of it as well.
Yeah, it's
You still need
it's
the Medusa
interesting that
blood,
it's
Griff?
interesting that it's still an elven castle, and all of these other things are coming from ancient elven
Hmm.
cities and towers, which leads me to believe maybe the magic itself is ancient elven.
Seems very likely. I agree with you.
Yeah, I've been
Veratus.
around long enough. Sorry.
Veratus was an elven lich. Before he was a lich, he was an elf, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, the elves are intertwined in this for sure.
Little bastards.
Yeah, no, I wanted to ask Griff about the Medusa's blood if he still needed it, because we haven't been to Melkor, and that was where we originally were headed to.
Yeah, really.
At one point.
No, I think, but
I'm sorry, I missed what you said there, Molly.
Oh, I said I was wondering if Griff still needed the Medusa's blood for the Harpers.
Oh, no, he had through chat messaged me that he wanted to give that to his contact with the Harpers, and that's because we had done that. It's actually where he learned about this safe house. So that's where, and he's contributed the knowledge that they'll be able to learn from that. But that still hasn't necessarily fulfilled his goal of what he ultimately wants to do, which would be, and I would think Griff, you'd still be driven to find a Medusa.
Yeah.
A real Medusa. So
We can point him to one.
there's a lot of
Oh,
reasons
the-
why
on the
everyone's
north
along for the ride, for sure.
And that was near the Jornhast Tower.
Yeah. I
Yep.
think the Jornhast is on the Isle
That's
of
right.
The
Presper,
Isle of
but,
Traders is right by the Isle of
Isle of
Presper,
Traders.
and that's,
Yeah,
yep.
it's on the north side.
That's why I was saying Furbis might be able to get us there on a boat, but we can go through the Underdark if we can figure out a way to get there. But my main thing was, I think the curses are more important, and
Sure.
we already know a way to get to the center where all the true knowledge is. It's a party decision.
It's like herding cats with us.
Yeah,
We're
Well,
always like,
I'm all for
"Do this."
revenge. So
Yeah,
that's
it's just a more matter of what is your priority? What are you paying the most
Curse.
interest on? Let's eliminate that debt.
I think it's pretty clear that Kurza's, yeah,
Yes.
pretty traumatized by, and I imagine Bart is too.
Mhm.
Once he gets back, yeah, it does make sense that we would prioritize that.
Yeah. And then once we solve the mystery of their minds being potentially taken over, then we're free. Then we can go get all the revenge we want.
Would we want to go to the Earth Spur Mountains? Is that?
though Griff would prefer to do that because it's over land. It's also around people and potential triggers for the curse along the way.
Nonsense. That red square, is that where we're going up near there?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
either
we're
that or
here.
back into the Underdark.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Have to get here.
Yeah.
I feel like the Underdark was the brutalest place we've ever been. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
there's a city up here, Ralphon. We could take a ship that far north
mhm.
and then
Oh,
hopefully learn of an overland route path through the mountains. Let's get along this flooded forest, whatever that means in terms of death and destruction.
we could just go out towards Kurza's Cove and cross the mountains again and hit Dragon Falls again and keep going north.
I think Seharn is pointing out though, it would be faster to take a ship. What is
I don't
that?
know if I don't know if that gets us. I don't know if that removes the curse. We would just kill a bunch of people.
I think what's going to happen for us to remove the curse is we're going to have to remove multiple of these icons, like from them. At least remove them as we killed the beholder one faded. So I think we're going to have to either remove them the old-fashioned way of killing these
No, they
big
didn't fade.
head honchos.
None of them faded. They got darker.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. I don't remember the fading.
No.
am I mistaken if I recall that wrong? Like when we killed beholder, one of them diminished a bit.
No, yeah, so it did it. One of the things changed color a little bit, so it was lighter. But whenever you recently attacked, everything has just gone dark. So it's just dark blue now.
So they reasserted control, so to speak. Huh. I didn't know that it had the dark gaze had.
I remember it became like it lightened on your arm. That
I remember
particular.
you pointed at the specific one, and it appeared to be like the hand with the, almost looks like a beholder with tentacles
Yeah,
coming out.
yeah.
Yeah. But if we go to this castle where the fire knives are, potentially,
We
yeah,
would
we could.
remove the fire knives one, and then I'm assuming one of them's a Medusa or in
Mhm.
Mithnanthar, one of
You should-
each of these towers. Maybe not, because we killed Veridus and one did not disappear.
It'd probably be.
directly involved.
You might be right. He might just be his own mad wizard, just doing his own mad wizard things.
Mm-hmm.
So if we
He
think
is a
that
mad wizard. Sorry,
if
go
we
ahead.
think that the Medusa one is on the Isle of Traders, right? The Jornhast Tower. We could go there, or we could go to the castle in the Earthspur Mountains. Is that kind of what we're choosing between?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think moving towards Kurza Cove and going towards Urspur is probably the safer route for now. And then worst case, we can always come back down and hit Kurza's Cove and go into the Underdark.
Well, we could always head toward, the boat out, head toward Yurlafon, near the flooded forest, land at that city, and then head east-northeast to hit the castle.
Yeah, so that was Seharn's idea. He suggested that.
What are we trying to do at the castle?
Kill them all.
Yeah, it's the castle is at this point a lot further away than some of the other things too, just to, be real about the distance that you're gonna have to travel to get there and everything.
Traveling in the mountains.
Find it. So I only say that because you're like not hot on the trail of the castle necessarily. You did just learn where it's at, which helps you, but you haven't been like trying necessarily to find that castle.
The Harpers may give us further information at a later date.
Right. I think now that you've brought this to their attention, then that will reap some benefit in terms of scouting and information gathering that they can relay over time now that they're know to be suspicious of it.
Yeah, we could always go back to the Underdark and pick up our good buddy, the Djinn.
I think maybe then if we unknown, we
Or stick to
trust the fates. Trust the fates and stick on the path we were
I
on.
think, yeah, I
kill
think we
the-
go down.
Go back
kill
to
the
the
Minotaur.
go back to the center. Yeah, and that should take us
Go
to
to
the
Minotaur.
tower,
So,
right? I'll take us to
remember,
Melkor.
remember the Underdark too is Nod. You have some personal reasons to go back there and settle the scores at the center of the maze. That gets us to Mithnantar as well. The Illithid is down there. If we kill him and get whatever thing frees the Djinn,
We did
I
kill
have
one.
notes
that could
to.
be
I have
another wish.
notes from
There's
the
there's a-
Smurf Nephilim. I don't remember his name, but I have notes to get to his base as well in the Underdark, so we could even go give them a visit if we were feeling frisky.
True, and then we have the treasure down there too. So there's, I think, still a chest of treasure, maybe. And there's a lot of drought.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yep,
Remember, we did kill an Illithid already. He was buddies with one of the Minotaurs we took out.
really,
Yeah. Did we take a Illithid out then at the same time he showed up?
I thought he helped us.
no, we made
Oh, that
Yeah.
guy. Yes, never
we
mind.
made friends with an Illithid,
We made
and
friends
he's the
with
one that
that
gave us
guy.
the Djinn, who said he's the guy that can unlock my prison.
Well, let's go then.
Anyway, yeah. All right, are we going to the Underdark?
Yes.
Yes.
Through the portal. We're gonna
Yes.
bury.
How do you
bury
wanna-
Mithra's sword.
Yeah.
How would you get out of town? Furbis would ask. How would you like to get out of town then? Do you want to sail
Safest
to
way.
Tsurlogol, or do you want to go by road?
No, I think ship would be
So,
safer
yeah.
to smuggle us out,
Really?
right?
I mean, it's however we want to do it, but it's a day's journey from Procampur.
It'll be
Thing is a couple of us are easy to describe and stick out in crowds.
I think
I don't
it'd
know who
be-
you're talking about.
We'll just dress you and Kurza like babies and carry you.
Yeah, I'm only 4'7". Maybe
I know.
get away with that.
It might be easier to sneak away from the city by ship.
Yeah.
I would defer to Furbis.
Furbis-
Here's where we want to go.
Yeah,
What's the easiest?
Furbis
way?
suggests taking a ship to Tsurlogol, and that he knows that there are palms he can grease to ensure that you get yourselves on board the ship more confidently than he could get you in a uninspected cart and not have any of you get found, because they're going to randomly pick carts and they're going to randomly pluck and look, and so he feels more confident that he knows how to navigate the ship way. So if you're
I will give him 69 gold to help him in his cost.
So rich.
he says,
I don't think he needs our
I-
gold. He wants our lore, right? Or the stuff that
Well,
we
he
got.
said he has to
He
grease
already
some
got it.
palm.
He says, and he would actually want to keep the, if these are like ancient coin, are they ancient, the ancient coins that you had found
Some of
from?
them are probably still some of the ancient coins.
Yeah, then he wants them. Like he actually would want them just for the reason that he's just never seen these ever, and to him it's
Collector's
just
pieces.
fascinating. So he doesn't care
Yeah,
about
it
its
was-
value actually more than the fact that it's just amazing to see these logos and how they crafted them.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it just specifically that number because that puts me at 0 or at
I
an
think-
even number basically.
I think we had tokens from, I can't remember the name of the god now, down there as well. The sea elf deity.
Oh,
So, what was it? Seychelles?
true.
Seychelles, I believe.
Seychelles.
Seychelles.
Yeah.
Shellas,
Was
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Okay. So then
Um,
Furbis will make arrangements to get you all basically picked up where this evening you will climb aboard a cart that will be readied for you. You'll basically get yourselves into crates that are going to be pre-fabbed for your sizes, and they'll have at least something for you to lay on, and so that you're not contorted too terribly, but they're trying to conceal you, so they will take a little bit of time today to put that together, but it's obvious, you can tell it's obviously something he's done before, and so he basically will have this ready by evening and bring it out front and then get you aboard one of the merchant vessels of someone that is well connected, that he does business with frequently. So he feels good about the fact that he can get you on board that ship without inspection.
Seharn, Jamie is wondering if what Furbis thinks the chance of our guards' troubles, word of mouth following us to the next city, or if we'll be relatively free there to move about.
So
We're gonna have to set up shop there eventually now, because we're not gonna come back here.
So this is I think the interesting
Can't.
part is that Furbis will laugh and reach into his pocket and he'll pull out a wanted poster that was hand drawn. And the wanted poster will have a very not a good sketch of Kurza, just like one that's just not, doesn't look like Kurza. They meant Kurza. And the other one is almost
it
like
looks like an.
is a perfect version of Shaujr.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh no!
It would be like a Shaujr and a 9-year-old child.
Yeah,
take the
so
fall for all of it.
those are like the two things that are stand out from the drawing, and so who you think they're looking for is more those two, but the rest of you
Wow.
may not have been as well identifiable for whatever reason.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
it might
was-
say in text below there was this big dark guy that hung out nearby, but we never really got a good look at him. It might say that. The other two, it might describe you, but as far as who they're really after were those two. So
Small child who is a very good shot with a bow.
so with that, I think Furbis will be ready, and if you guys are ready, he'll go ahead and get you on board the carts and aboard the ship. Is everybody good to go?
Yes.
All right. All right. Here's what we will do. This is going to, you're going to get into your crates. You'll get out into the alleyway. You'll see Furbis and the others have blocked off the alleyway a little bit, and they have a cart backed up with these crates open to the doorway side, and you're all able to find your way and get yourselves into and tucked into what appears to be a shipment of textiles that they've converted to look like textiles, but it's going to go onto a ship that is known for shipping textiles. And so he gets you all aboard, hurry, quick, quiet, and loads you up, begins to pull the cart through the harbor district. As you're
We're
moving,
gonna find out.
Mhm.
Oh, see, we're gonna find out Furbis is in the body snatching business, aren't we? This is how he knows.
or he wanted the
man.
reward all along. No, he takes you to the harbor, and you can hear as the street turns from cobble into wooden decks that you're being pulled, and eventually you can hear, some of you can make perception checks. In fact, I'm gonna have everybody do both. You're gonna do a wisdom check first, and then let's just do that first, and then I'll get the other check. I don't want to overlap them.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
Oh, there we go. Finally found my character sheet.
All right. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think then basically this would mean that Griff and Seharn, Kurza, you would hear conversation taking place outside of the crates pretty clearly, and that there's an inspection point, there's a area where the loading occurs, and during the transfer that's supposed to happen, your cart never stops even though other carts are stopping, so you can tell that you've been fast tracked by that checkpoint. And when you get onto the dock and closer to the ships, you'll hear more talking and handling occurring, and that's when you get yourselves onto the actual boat. And but as you're being like put aboard the boat, there's inspectors aboard the ship, and you guys, the three of you, can hear this. Like, you can clearly tell that there's people walking about in the ship's bow and in the cargo hold, looking through and checking things. And so you don't feel like you're 100% off the hook yet. And then this is where, like, sitting in a crate for the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, as this has been going on, starts to become a little bit uncomfortable. And let me have everybody roll a constitution check, please.
Good God. The night at 20s.
Yeah,
Oh.
really, if you fail, it's with a critical fail.
Yeah.
I'll take a reroll on mine, just to not be a critical fail.
Yeah, what was that, like the fourth one tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Critical fail on a skill check?
Yeah, we
The
still got 3 left still.
The dice on Roll20 are really weird.
Because I think, didn't Molly just use a roll early in the session?
I
Mhm.
did use one earlier, yeah.
Okay.
It
that's
still
the
failed.
For 3.
Second one. We still
All
got
right.
3 left.
Well-
So in this case, you've
Yeah.
rolled. Yeah, you've made up for the issue. And has everybody rolled? Okay. But you have no problem basically enduring this. It's not so bad that it's causing you too much of a problem, more just nerves for those of you that can hear the conversation that's going on. And ultimately, the voices and the conversation die down, and it's obvious. It becomes obvious to all of you that the ship is afloat, and you hear like a tap on maybe the side of the crate that you're in, and you hear a voice, and it's actually the boy from the Harper House that you stayed in, and he's aboard the ship with you, and he says, "It's clear now if you want to come out."
Absolutely.
And he'll
Oh yeah.
open the
You bet we
crates.
do.
You guys can climb out of the crates. Yeah, and he'll say, "We've got to stay in the cargo hold for now, but eventually we can wander." Basically, they have a little makeshift area for you to rest and have some hammocks to lay in, and it's just going to be not too long of a sail, but we'll move you guys over that way here out of Procampur now, and you're at sea, back at sea,
Have a drink.
but you're in an inside cabin essentially, still hanging low because you're not sure who all is on the ship, and but you feel safe down here in the cargo hold, and ultimately I'll have everybody else do. It's good that the sea elf walked off because he wouldn't be affected by this, but for the rest of you, you'll have to make constitution checks to see how well you're doing aboard the ship without being able to see the horizon.
I think. Oh no, not made it. We still have 3 astonishing fortunes, Griff.
Yeah, I think it makes sense narratively that I would get seasick. I don't like being away from
Yeah.
bees
Yeah.
and land
And
and forests.
And Kurza's right there with you. So you guys are definitely not feeling yourselves. You can't wait to get off this boat. Just trying,
Get your sea legs, mates.
but
Do you have to go back in the box to get out? To
the
get back on shore?
the promise is that you don't have to, but it's up to you. Like how they don't know exactly what the process in Tsurlogol, I don't know how to say it, is, but they can say you can climb back in and we can get you off that way, or we could just walk off the ship and act like you belonged there. So
I'm okay with the box.
all right.
Again, what's the chance of news of us having even traveled there?
Yeah, it's just
The
probably
people
the
on the
poster.
boat.
The poster is what you guys got to remember. The poster
Yeah,
would have been the
that's
only
true.
thing that would have.
It's going to be, remember, it's Shaujr and Kurza.
So
And the people on the boat
yeah.
may see their way to make a quick buck by turning
Yeah,
us in.
those of you
So
who
maybe,
weren't drawn, you feel a lot safer than
yeah.
those of you who were.
I think
So
I'd be good
maybe
walking off.
Kurz
Yeah.
and I should be, in the crates.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, not just a deckhand helping unload some of the crates.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
Taking
to.
it.
I wouldn't want to be the guy that had to move Nod's crate. That's just like too
No,
much.
I'm at least 200 pounds, not including how much I weigh.
Yeah.
Quick inspection, but if something were to hit the fan, like, can these guys quickly escape and just pop out of these crates?
Yeah, they could kick the side off and get out. Yeah, they're not like sealed in.
Cool.
Yeah. So you guys, yeah, basically would be aboard this ship for a little while, and it goes uneventfully. That you don't have any other visitors or unwanted attention, and you make your way to Tsurlogol. You reach the dock. The kid is still there with you all, and tells you coast is clear, and just follow the lead of the rest of the crew. And you start to see that they're unloading these crates into the port as the ship's already been docked, and you basically can pick up those of you who aren't in crates can pick up those that are and follow along just like you belong here and make your way out onto the dock and into Tsurlogol. Does anyone, let's see, I guess for those of you who are carrying the crates, you are going to encounter a checkpoint, and at the checkpoint what looks to be a middle-aged human who is just getting verification of what is in the crates that are being brought so that he can get a supply count and charge taxes accordingly. So it's the tax man. And as you're approaching this, he will ask you, "What's in this crate?" And he's like stopping all of the people in front of you as they're passing through, and he's like maybe fiddling around with the crate a little bit too. You notice at times. Who's first? Who would be first in? Who's carrying the crates that?
I imagine I'm carrying someone. I have a keg of ale in one arm, and I have a crate in the other arm. I got textiles in here, and I got ale in here.
All right, so do a charisma check on that,
All right.
please.
Good luck, buddy.
Oh, goodness. Maybe we fortune those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
ale and textiles.
all right, and he's putting another checkbox in the. He's ale. That wasn't on the list.
Oh, no,
And
that's my personal. You want a
Personal
cup?
consumption.
personal ale. He comes over and he like takes a closer look. Where is the ale? Where was it from? Was it in the
The ale
tower?
actually
Or-
specifically is a barrel of Procampur Pilsner.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he's gonna take a closer look at your ale, and he'll maybe grab like a little cup and be like, and hold it out and be like, "Let me take a little test of this."
Oh, you'll need a bigger cup, mate. And I'll pour him out some.
All right.
It's Procampur, and I'll even tell him it's Procampur perilous. I'm not acting suspicious. Yeah, they had plenty in stock, brother.
Yeah, so
I would buy more. It's good stuff.
he's just you can tell that it wasn't on the register, so he's like picking on it for whatever reason because he's like very meticulous. And so as he's doing this, for those of you that are cramped up in the crates, let's have you make basically what are going to be stealth checks, which are going to be dexterity rolls.
How about a move silent or a hide in shadow?
Move silent is, yeah, it's basically the same. Ooh, goodness gracious.
Can I use another one on there? Oh, goodness. Guess
Yep.
I gotta use another one.
Ooh.
I failed by less.
All right. All right.
My new, maybe it's
Remember-
loud outside.
You have to. There's a when you're doing. So if you go into your settings, your sheet settings, you got to turn off
Oh, yeah, the GM roll.
GM roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't even see what y'all were talking about.
He failed.
Yeah, if you go down to. So if you go to your sheet settings and you go down to
What settings?
sheet
Oh,
settings,
open your character sheet, and
Oh, okay.
he'll walk you to,
Then-
yeah.
sheet settings, and then go all the way down to thieving skill roll visibility. But all rolls are visible to the player, and I think that allows it to show rolls to everyone.
Oh, roll
also
visibility
allows
is
you-
by the book. All
Yeah.
rolls are hidden from the player.
Yeah,
So,
mine says all rolls are visible to the player.
Yeah, all rolls are visible to the player is what it probably should be.
okay, that's what it was.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Huh. I wonder why then it did that just for that particular skill check.
No
'Cause
idea.
the rest of them, yeah.
There's
Okay.
only 3 options.
Yeah, if that's the only one, then that's the only one. That's fine.
All right. Basically, Kurza, you're having a tough time in there and moving around a little bit, and it catches attention of the guy who's sipping on the Pilsner nod. And you notice that he kind of takes a sideways look towards the crate that you're carrying now.
Rats.
Anything you want to do?
Aye, the ale's good, is it not? You can hear it in there.
What kind of textile moves around, friend? Does it sound soft at all?
Dim rats. They probably got onto it on the ship.
Oh, all right. Anyone else want to chime in and add to Nod's excuse that it could be rats?
No.
I
That's
can't.
Go ahead and do
deceiving.
a charisma check then, Nod.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
All
Boy,
anyway,
we've got one left.
right.
We have one.
use it.
Oh,
Yeah, you got work.
whoa. Wow.
Epic fail.
I think he's gonna, with that in mind, he's gonna take his
I
sip
think
of
we're out of time, right?
Oh, we have plenty of time now. But he's gonna spit out the Pilsner on the floor and say, "This tastes like piss." And what are you carrying in there? And he says, "Let's have a look."
It's time to just punch him in the mouth.
No, it's or
It
I'll
could,
just set it down on the ground and then just pop the top. And again, that's what Filter said. There's textiles that they're hiding in, and I'm just gonna make a whenever I see someone's in there. What's
Can
this?
I pile up my books and get underneath the covers to make it look like some textiles and books being put around?
Like they've already disguised the top, so if they pull the top of the crate off, it's gonna look there's style in it. So you don't have to like probably try to mess with that much. It's just more that
okay.
if he digs around, it's not gonna make sense to him that he heard like a knocking sound or a sound of something solid coming from the crate. I think
Sneeze
that's
or something.
right. So I think that's more of what's drawing his attention at the moment. But let's see. Yeah. So
Is there anything I was going to say to him? I was going to try to stumble up and maybe start acting like I'm throwing up. Maybe to distract him.
Oh,
that's actually a good idea. Yeah. So how about you make a charisma check that you have to pass to make yourself. Yeah, so you can just try to get sick to cause a distraction, you could definitely do that. And you're not like sure that it would stop them from checking it out, but it definitely would buy you time. So does anyone wanted to do anything with that time?
Vomit on him.
So after I do that, I'll dry heave a little bit, and then I'll say, "Hey, how about a little bit of that ale to help wash out my mouth?"
He'll say that coin spends better than ale.
I'll, I'll nod and nod.
I'll nod
At this
too.
point, he's totally on to that. You guys are trying to hide this. You've had a critical failure trying to hide it and everything, and so he's asking for a bribe, flat out.
Yep, flat out.
How does he feel about 50 gold? He just, just jingle,
Whoa.
hand him a little bag of 50 gold.
Ooh, 50 gold is
That might be too much.
50
Yeah,
gold.
you might have just made a friend here.
I tell you what, you make a charisma check +2.
Maybe 100 silver's
Okay.
worth,
Yeah.
but
All
That
right,
was with no modifiers.
your 50 gold. He'll say he'll grab your 50 gold and say, "I'll buy some real beer with this gold." And now get out of here. And he'll just keep like moving down the line and start, put the coin in his pocket and begin to ask others, "What's in your crate? What's in your crate?" And I think
Okay.
the rest of you have been able to sneak by, so you've made your way at this point into a place where you can uncrate yourselves and decide what you want to do in this new random town, which I think I have a map. Or not a map,
But before we left the ship, I wanted to give the kid like a couple gold pieces.
Yeah, I meant to tell you that he would be returning with the ship, obviously, but he wanted to make sure that you arrived safely, and he would have been there when this all happened as well. Like, he would have been probably nudging you to pay the money and that sort of thing as well. He'll gladly take a few coin for his return, and he'll say, "You've brought a lot of hope to the Harpers that we will learn from the blood of the Medusa. I look forward to hearing of your new tales and whether or not you're able to find one." And with that, the boat will leave. You'll kind of see it pretty quickly unload and move into a different part of the port away from where you unloaded, and you guys can get out and about into this port city. Let's see, I'm trying to find a quick description of the city for anything that I can. 1 second.
I think
We're
I know
just
what I'm
gonna-
looking for now.
Are we-
I think a way to permanently polymorph myself
Okay.
What?
So,
into anything else.
oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, so there's
There must be some cursed devices out there that would transform your race or something like that.
Oh, I see your.
I know there is
yeah.
a belt of it reverses your gender, belt of femininity or masculinity.
do that?
That's interesting.
That
Classic.
could work too.
Do we plan on staying in this town at all, or are we just gonna pass right through to our portal and
Yeah, so that is a good question, because I don't know how deep you want to get into it, if you're just trying to get out of town fast or even just stay on the outskirts of town and get into the countryside. But the city itself is pretty large, as big as Procampur, but a little
really?
definitely not as fortified. It's a more open feel. The streets are filled with all kinds of traders from all over the realms, and it definitely has its own sea district and its own merchants quarter as well as harbor. There's same sort of things. I guess the things that make this place different is that they have that they have a small navy, that there's actually some warships in the dock here. Even though they don't have sturdy walls everywhere, they've got some naval vessels that are pretty obvious that they've got a pretty good fleet. And
Yes.
but it's easy enough for you to see that this is definitely a very merchant heavy area and city, and that is a part of why you were able to be smuggled in so easily. That trade here was very open, and well oiled. So
Does it look like we could just walk down the dock, the ship area here, and then just continue down the coastline if we wanted to?
yeah, it
Yes,
does.
yeah.
Like you guys could like completely avoid the city altogether once you're off the ship. Pretty much, you've gone through all the checkpoints. The city's pretty open in that regard. So yeah,
That's what I'm going to suggest,
Do we
guys.
have
We just
everything that we need to go on our adventure in the Underdark?
Griff, did you get my message to you about things that might be of interest? That short list.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you see my
I
response?
probably missed that. So you could do that here. You could. That's what I was thinking. Those would be very easy things to buy on the streets here.
Okay.
You would see a lot of different shops. So if you wanted to pick up seeds
Yep.
from the market or anything like that, you're welcome to do that.
Yep. So like a little music box that you crank or whatever, and some seeds.
Okay.
do you
so
really
let's-
need these, friend Griff?
How
What are
much?
you planning?
Yeah. Why are we risk detection? Being recognized? Do we need these?
Nobody's gonna recognize me.
Yeah, so maybe
he's
just
got
some
a
of us
point.
should move to the
Yeah,
we'll wait
outskirts
for
of
yeah.
you.
town
We'll
and start
wait
moving
for you.
towards.
Yeah,
Waiting for.
maybe only one of you or two of you attempt to pick up the supplies while the others,
Sorry, I had to take
Yeah.
take a biology break real quick, but I was gonna say my suggestion would be to move through town and get outside of town. Personally, I don't like being in towns anyway, so
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not we need anything here, but I do want to pick up a couple things. How
Do
much?
you want like 50 gold? And I can throw you like 50 gold, and that will get you stuff, and we'll go wait at the north side of town.
I have gold. I don't think it's gonna cost more. I have 160 on me, so
You
Yeah.
guys are rich, man. I got like 30 silver or something.
So
You want
This
50
is my
gold,
gold
Seharn?
from when I created my character.
So Griff, your items would cost you 3 gold, 5 silver.
Okay.
Anyone else buying anything or need anything bought? I'm not gonna put you guys through the grinder to get someone into town to buy supplies. So if there's anything that you want regular supply wise, we can get you filled
I
up.
think
How about a cursed
I
item
kind of
that
loaded up
changes you?
before we left.
I'm sorry, not
Vorpal sword.
I bought a bunch of stuff before we left. I bought all that last time before we actually left for what do you call it?
yeah. You guys were gearing up before you left Procampur. I guess you just
Okay.
didn't 100%
Yeah.
know where you were headed. Things changed on the way too. So, but all right. So if there's nothing else, then let's put you guys back out in the countryside. Basically, at this point, you've avoided going into the heart of the city, stayed on the outskirts, followed the shore around, and then eventually reached a roadway that takes you back north into and towards the sea.
I like that music, by the way.
So now you're back. You're up here in the roadway, heading towards Kurza's Cove. So you're not far at all from Kurza's Cove. You've resupplied, and you get yourself back to the general area as it's getting. Let's say it would be pretty dark. It would been a full day, pretty much a full travel for you guys. And I assume you're just traveling by foot to do this, unless you were trying to get there quicker. Otherwise, you were just making your way the best you could.
Yeah, we don't know.
You wouldn't want to have horses anyway, because then you would have nothing to do with them.
Right.
But
We don't own anything like that.
yeah.
We'd
Um,
have to get the horses and then purchase the horses, and no.
we've always got to create food and water too, guys. And once our friend
course.
wakes up, we'll have
Oh, here we
two
go.
clerics
This was it.
take care of.
Oh, I forgot about that. So that was the other thing I was gonna say is maybe we ask Furbis to make sure he takes care of Bart.
Yep, the cup of infinite water. That's a bonus survival thing.
Yeah.
I assume that
Remember-
we just brought him in a crate.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not gonna leave him
Okay.
behind because he's not here or
Yeah.
anything. I'll just have it be more that somehow or other you guys found a way to get him along for the ride too. So I think that brings
He's
us.
claustrophobic, so we knocked him unconscious. There you
Yeah,
go.
we
He's
just
in a
yeah,
coma.
Yeah,
We-
I think it
Oh,
takes
wow.
us full circle. I'm gonna put you back into the woods here, where you're looking around, and eventually
That's
the
cool.
portal appears and
Very
shows
cool.
itself.
there
So
we are.
you guys know
So-
that it's here and it's safe, and if you want to spend some time looking around to see if there's been anything that's happened here, you can try to do that.
Yours see this?
So two things I want to do.
I've not seen this before.
Yeah,
You've
it's curious.
only
'cause
heard of it.
Me neither.
Remember, it was the magic was only members of our party.
Yeah. So two
Yeah.
Does that
things I
extend to new members, or does that include like the
well,
members?
Yeah,
at the time
Shaujr
of
is.
creation?
I mean,
So-
Shaujr
Wanna
is
go
a
through
Mithra,
that thing?
essentially.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. So I asked Shaujr, can you get close to this area? We want to see what happens if it activates, if it's off of a Mithra's essence or just off of us as
Oh,
individuals.
I'd rather not go through there. Is there another way?
You don't have to go through it.
Just
Only
give her the final push.
Yeah. it should only show up when one of us gets close to it.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Exactly. So Shaujr,
So-
when you walk in that direction, it will appear. You will see
Awesome.
this swirling
Okay.
portal in front of you that is, as much as it's not in your nature to want to be near it, it is. You can tell it's definitely something that is fascinating, and it adds up to you everything that you'd heard about it and where it would lead and what it would mean to use it. So I think that those things all that might be going through your head.
You must use it. You
So-
must. It is the portal your sister used. It is the portal to the place we will lay her
Look,
and honor her.
The
I
other
could
thing I
definitely
was
see
gonna
not sneaking up and giving her that final push to push her through, or Shaujr him through.
Oh, that would be like, yeah,
like
the big,
sneaking up and pushing somebody into the pool at a party or something.
the Minotaur and
Yeah.
the Barbarian duking it out.
Yeah. So the other thing I want to do, Jamie, is just go around the area and look for any tracks or anything like that shows any signs of anybody else being in this area while we were gone, or any other creatures.
So I think in the immediate area around the portal, you can make a roll to see how much you're able to pick up here.
What do you want me to roll?
Do you have tracking? Do you have a tracking, or you can
Yes.
do? Okay. But yeah, so near the portal, you don't detect anything. You are gonna take your time and walk the whole area. So I want you to roll another tracking check when you get a little further out.
Yeah.
And
It's a straight
Totally
wisdom
missed the
check.
band
Yeah,
of 17 Noel. Now we're going to be ambushed.
maybe you've spent too much time in the Underdark, but you don't feel like you're seeing any trails or anything behind. But you suspect that the Harpers have been here, or at least that they will be patrolling.
Okay, that
So
makes sense.
you don't see any signs of anyone, though.
And then Kurza, you had set up a wizard mark near here. Where I turn to Shaujr and I say, is there any area around here that you would find suitable to perhaps bury a Mithra sword or somehow intern it? Or do you want to do it in the Underdark?
Or short of that, we could always. She died in the middle of the ocean, so we could always just drop it from a ship at the approximate location that we can find and
Yeah.
let it drop the
You
3,000
know-
or 4,000 feet.
This doesn't feel right. The only other place where she got the most glory would be the arena at Raven's Bluff.
Yeah.
So perhaps we should hang on to it for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Until the time is right.
yeah.
And
Let's sneak
again,
into the arena.
You want to, do you want to hold it? Do you want to have it in your possession?
I would prefer not. I trust that you'll
He's bothered by
you'll
the
keep it
magic
safe.
part.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It gives me
You
a
look at-
throbbing headache.
Mhm.
That's unpleasant.
I think we're out of those herbs. We still got some doses of seasickness, though. Moss.
True. Yeah, you might have needed those aboard the while you were in the crates. I think maybe those are the days you
Think
got
about
sick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless we
now
find
you remember that.
somehow, if we find our way back to that tower, that would be the best place to bury this.
The tower.
Yeah, there's a
They
lot
were
of
going to the
there's a
base
lot of
it, pretty
unfinished
much. You just have
business.
to-
That's the tower. The portal goes there.
No,
Yep.
the portal goes to the
The Underdark.
Underdark.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
not too far from the tower and the Minotaur maze that we're going to.
Yeah,
That's what I
the
mean,
maze is on the way.
Maze is
Yeah.
on the way. When do we think we hit 50, Jamie? Next time.
What's that?
You're going to hit session.
Yeah, next
campaign.
session will be session 50. So
It's a
Wow.
milestone.
Getting that
for
we'll be
you.
going back to the Underdark.
yeah, definitely there'll be some big things that will happen, I'm sure, because we have to go big on session 50.
I
Um,
hope Adam's here because we might need 2 clerics for the healing.
yeah, that's true. That's true. It'll be important to have some healing, I suspect. But
Some of our battles get pretty edgy. Like, we could have
I don't
gone down.
think any of our battles have not been.
True.
trying to find
Usually end up
the
having to spend a couple days to heal.
Don't listen to stupid ideas if we don't jump off cliffs in the middle of combat.
Unless there's something there to land on.
Yeah, beholder or something.
yeah, it was a soft,
Yeah.
cushy landing really awaiting you at the end of the day.
That's right.
Maybe we should choose a non-ball like spheroid landing zone.
That's now
Land
now
for
you're
my
getting
arms,
very
I'll catch
specific,
you.
and I think that needs to go into the standard operating procedures because someone might forget. But yeah, so I think basically at this point you guys would decide if you were going to try to camp here in the forest or step through and camp in the Underdark. But it would have been a long day at this point, and you would be
We're
relieved to have found the portal still there.
I think we're safest here in the normal realm. Instead of the dark realm.
I was going to say, again, my preference is always going to be nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
So unless anyone's
Well,
immediately
the Underdark is nature.
I won't feel safe in the
How-
dark. I think we should sleep out here. Yeah.
Where is your campsite relative to the portal then? I guess I'm sure you're some distance away.
Yeah, I was going to say far enough away that we're not activating it. And
Probably
then,
50 or 100 foot away where I put the wizard mark.
yeah, and then I'll go around and do the set snares, and you just do a perimeter so that we
Wait a
can
minute.
kind of set it up.
Isn't the portal only visible to us?
It
Just for
only
itself?
activates when you're near it and presents itself, but that doesn't mean someone wouldn't see that if they were standing there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Just
We
Just
don't
just
really know that.
curiosity.
Yeah, we haven't been around
But
anybody
that's
but
true.
us.
You don't really know. You just know that
If I bring the blue gem up to my eye and just take a gander around us, like the gem is seeing, is there anything invisible, hidden, or something just perhaps
That's good.
watching us?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He sees the portal now.
Yeah, I just walked around and say, yeah, it's all clear. And then Nod looks and he's, no, there's 6 guys sitting over there.
Also, you missed the bugbear tracks. Just a cat.
let's see.
To do is just sit there and roll out his his large bedroll, and maybe just get a little bored as he's sitting there and just peek through the glass and see what he sees around.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, when number one, like when you look at the portal through the gem of seeing, it is like a distorted reality and like this warped space that's in it. So it's really would be very almost hypnotic to look at it through the gem of seeing particularly. And it appears even when you're not like when it's not presenting itself, you can see it through the gem of seeing. That would stand out, but I think Nod, what really stands out to you more so than the shape of the portal is that there seems to be the shape of a humanoid.
Is it a small boy shaped?
No, it looks like a full-size humanoid. Something that would be more relative in size to yourselves.
Is this the idea of a cliffhanger? What?
But the
Nod hasn't said anything, so
Yeah, no, I think he's not going to raise an alarm and kind of slip into shadows and try to find out who this is.
all right, let's see.
I don't say anything.
Like, he's not trying to raise the alarm because if people start knowing, he'll probably take off.
yeah. Sahar's just going to continue making a bed camp, bedroll. The fire
Yeah,
going.
everyone else is like gathering firewood and finding a
Starting the
comfortable
fire
spot
and-
and everything, and Nod just steps off. It appears to you. I'm wondering. We're trying to figure out what the gem of seeing, what you would really know that when you're looking through the gem versus what.
Yeah, I would see that there is a hidden person or invisible person there.
Yes,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
man,
and
it's not
as you get
Caprin.
closer, make a wisdom check, please. So it's unusual to you. Whatever does not seem to be bothered by you wandering around, but it almost seems like it's more centered on where the portal is.
Maybe it's checking out the portal. It doesn't feel threatened by us at all. Not that I would know, because
Yeah, nobody can see it but Nod.
just talking as a player.
Yeah, how far away is the group from him compared to? Are they like 50 feet, 40 feet, hiding behind a tree or bushes or something? Or
So you mean
because
how?
we're slightly away from the portal as well.
Yeah, I
Like
think
we're
you
not
guys
close enough
were.
to.
I was guessing you guys were like 100, maybe 200 feet from the portal, I think is what I heard you all say. So the creature or the shape that you see isn't leaving more than maybe 20 feet from the portal. It's staying within that radius, if you will.
Yeah, okay. I guess I will take the time and attempt to slip back into camp and alert somebody. Though who it is, I'm not sure. I'm assuming it would probably be Griff or somebody gathering firewood.
Okay.
First would be the first one who I would
Y-
encounter, so I would inform them, hey, there's something over yonder.
And if you want to share the gem with them, they could do the same thing. They could see it from this far away too. They would be able to
Yeah,
look through the
yeah.
gem, and you can all look and see now what Nod saw, which is this figure that's wandering around the portal area, not really leaving that vicinity much.
How tall is it?
Yeah, how
It's
distinct is?
it's
Can we
about
tell what direction?
it's definitely medium, at least the medium creature, from what you can tell.
Or would we have any idea if
No, it's
it's
like
It's just kind of wandering around the portal.
yeah, it's more of a silhouette.
okay?
It just looks like a
Can I
Maybe
silhouette
it's
move,
through
hidden.
the gem.
Let's go talk to it. I didn't want to
Yeah.
kill it. My sword
Is it
wanted to
Mike
talk
in
to
it
it,
height?
but
I guess it could be. If you guys want to get closer, if anyone wants to investigate it, you can
Yep.
roll wisdom checks.
Um, yeah, why not? I'm gonna go up and approach it with my buddy here.
maybe it's
Like,
too bright with the moon out.
I don't know.
Hard.
Wow.
Griff, it's definitely not a myconid. And when you get a little bit closer and you see it, start to recognize it, and it appears. Let's see if I can find the damn image. Sorry, I'm gonna leave you hanging for a second while I find this image.
Okay,
Uh,
gonna be hanging for 2 weeks anyway.
oh shit, where we go?
kind of actually like this picture of this portal behind.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And our new group is pretty cool looking too.
Yeah, it looks good. Everybody looks like I imagine them to look. But yeah, here I'm gonna paste into the image what you make this out to be. You start to realize that whatever the creature is crouching over a little bit, and eventually, Griff, you get yourself into position where you see very clearly that this is the Djinni,
Ah,
and that
Yeah.
he's not in your plane. He's not in your plane. So he's only visible through the gem of seeing, but he's watching over this portal, apparently, from the plane, from a different plane. So.
I'll share that with everybody. I see the Djinn, but it doesn't look like he's in our plane. It looks like he's watching the portal.
Yeah,
Dang.
he's just
Can you hear
whirling
him?
around the portal.
Do you think he can see us, friend Griff? Can you hear us?
We promised him
no.
we would help him get loose.
We called to him. Will he listen? What was his name? I don't remember. Do you remember Tim? Molly? Molly gone
No.
already.
I don't think I was here for that one. I
Oh,
don't think so.
Yeah, my notes are so scattered. I don't know that I.
It's in the party notes. Hang on.
I'm curious. Just gonna call out Djinni, Jin, and wave my arm.
Nimbus.
Nimbus. Okay, but does he seem to at all notice that I'm even there?
So if you're just trying to like wave him down, he doesn't seem like he's paying attention to you. But if you walk towards the portal, you notice that he starts to then pay attention to you. So if you're like walking into the portal or towards the face of the portal, he'll turn to face towards you, and the closer you get to the portal, the closer he'll get to you. So if he's not looking at you or communicating with you, but he's looking in your direction.
Do we necessarily, as a group, want to start interacting with this guy tonight? Probably not. It's a little late, but
I think
Address him by name.
if you want to roll, I think especially for the casters, anyone who's a caster in the group, if you want to make probably an intelligence check or wisdom check.
I'm always going to go wisdom. That's my
Yeah, you
I'm always
should.
going to
big
go
stat.
You should go.
intelligence.
Yeah, go for it.
That's my big stat.
Roll to your spellcasting stat. So you suspect between the two of you that the Djinn is guarding the portal. What he's guarding it from, you don't know, but you don't feel threatened by him. So
And I think we're all right.
in a certain sense, I think you feel a little bit of comfort that he's there, even though you
Yeah,
can't speak with him, but you know who he is, and he's watching the portal, and you can see it through the gem.
we still owe this guy help, right? So, yeah, um, just going to go back to camp. I suggest we just go rest.
All right.
I think
Jin
so.
will guard the portal for us. We can tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
he's
So
probably
it's-
using his own powers to view the portal somehow.
what will your watch order be this evening? Do you have a watch order set? I
no,
wanna.
Seharn can take first watch. I'm fine. I
All right.
won't need any.
Take first and second.
All right. I'm just gonna roll then the watch checks here.
I'll take third.
See if these spring.
Say Nod can watch 2 watches if we're doing 2-hour watches.
2 and 3.
2 and 3. Okay. Okay.
Nod can do 1 and 4.
Yeah, and I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna actually do this 2 different ways, so I got an idea. So I'm thinking that you guys would be so heightened by this that whoever's on watch, and correct me if you wouldn't do this, but giving the person on watch the gem.
Yeah, I was
So
actually just thinking that.
okay, I thought
Nod
you.
would
I thought you.
start, would keep eyes, and then you like, here, use this, and then sleep for the 4 hours, and then wake up and take it back on the last one.
I probably wouldn't want to use the gem, but I was wondering if I
Mhm.
detect magic, if I would see the djinn, but maybe not because I would. Yeah, the portal would glow so magic.
Yeah, you would see the portal though. You would see the portal.
Okay.
Maybe not him because he's on a different
Yeah.
astral plane.
Yeah.
But the gem, here's what happens. So during the first shift, whoever has that gem, you're going to see at some point that there's another creature appears through the gem and begins to walk towards the portal, and that the djinn seems to make the figure disappear. And that same thing happens again during the third shift. That very clearly looks like some walking humanoid that is only visible through the gem is trying to go through the portal, and the djinn makes it disappear and stops it from going through the portal. So those of you that were on the first and third shift, you saw that very clearly. Otherwise, nothing happened during your shift.
If I
Does it happen
try,
more than one time
Yes.
during the first shift?
It happens once during the first and once during the third shift.
I see.
all right.
Did you mean from our side someone tries to go through it, or it's I don't.
What you're seeing really is that something in another plane is trying to use your portal
Okay.
on
Okay.
the same plane as the Djinni,
Djinn.
and he's driving it off.
Okay.
If it's like
This
there,
portal should only be in the prime material.
So that's definitely noticeable for whoever's on those 2 shifts. That would be the highlight of your watch. For the other 2, nothing happened at the portal, but there was movement around the camp, and you believe that there could be, it's either people walking around in the forest or wildlife, but whatever it was, it didn't stay long, and so you didn't really bother to do much about it, but you definitely heard things more close by, and you suspected something would show up, but nothing did. But with that, the sun rises, and you all are back in the camp, awakened and refreshed and recharged. And what would you like to do this morning?
So we saw all these critters going through there. Now
Trying to.
we're on the prime material though. So
Maybe that was on the other side.
why would but this is on the it doesn't extend into another plane.
who saw the
So
Nod and Kurza?
so are we
Yeah.
seeing a vision of something happening on the other side, something happening where
So this portal was gifted to you by the Jinn, right? Yeah. And I think that you're starting to realize that the magic, the teleportation that you're getting from it is bypassing through its plane, which makes it potentially interesting to other creatures on its plane. And that
okay.
so that's what I think you're figuring out here. But
It's actually takes place
through the
it's a bridge through a
yeah,
different
yeah,
through
and
a second plane to get here.
Yeah, we won't it's typically the plane of air that the Jinn lives in, but it can live in other planes too. We won't get
Could be
that
the
deep on it
energy
yet,
source.
but you definitely would. The Gem of Seeing is a really cool, powerful. So it was a good spot to pull it out, I think, because it explains a little bit of the inner workings of what you're doing and where you got this portal from. But yeah, it's morning. You don't see any other tracks. You haven't had any other interruptions to your plan. And
Nod's gonna convince somebody he sees some tracks right here in front of the portal. They're right here. Come look.
What's
Are there?
what's in front of the portal?
Tracks. Look, they're right here,
Yeah.
Kurza. Come
What
look.
tracks? What tracks?
Yeah, some tracks.
Okay.
We can all go look.
I do have tracking, so
Yeah, come right here,
Here,
and
come
he'll
take a
just
look.
point you right here.
Yeah, just look over here, and then what?
We're just gonna bum rush them through the
I think he's
portal.
gonna just push someone through the portal. I love it.
Like all of us.
Come
will
on,
just
all
bum
right.
rush them.
I want to have Nod. You got to try a charisma check on this because I really want to see if this would actually work. If anyone would fall for Nod's luring.
Shenanigans, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So now for the rest of you, you'll have to make. I guess it's gonna be a wisdom check, but you have to succeed by 5 because he succeeded by 5. All right, Griff,
The rest
you're
of
like,
us?
huh? I'm going to look. What tracks?
Tracks, you
Shaujr.
say?
That's the one you needed. That was the one you needed right there.
Yep. Yep. I was
Sahar
like,
knows what.
Oh, Seharn's
How you gonna get me
Seharn's
that?
like, this is a
He's
bunch.
like, wait a
This is-
second.
This is fishier than the ocean, and I know the ocean.
No, he
well, you know, I can.
knows
I
what
can.
Nod's up to, and he's ready to. We're gonna get the barbarian through the.
Well, I
portal.
did pick
That's
up.
the deal.
I did pick up tracking. I can.
I'm doing my
Well,
best.
what I want to see if Kurza falls for the trick though. So Kurza passes wisdom.
Oh, let me do that.
Man, that would be perfect. Nod, this is a great way to do this. Oh my god, yeah. Kurza's, I just got
Wow.
tracking. I'm going to check it out. So you've
Yeah.
got, all right, Nod, you've got Kurza, Shaujr, and Griff all looking completely at the ground, standing in front of the activated portal. And what would you like to do with that situation?
I'll look back at Seharn and you should have looked to the tracks. So I'll give him a wink and then just a
Yep.
flying tackle at their back and tackle them into the portal. Kind of.
To the
Oh
portal.
my
rift.
God.
Yeah.
We're just gonna let's just take them down and just shove them right through. So let's call the session.
Yeah, this is perfect.
I
This is a
see
perfect
nothing
spot.
here.
Why does Kurza not want to go through the portal though?
I have no problem
Uh,
going through the portal.
We
Oh,
were all,
Okay.
Yeah, it
It's
was
just you,
it
big
was,
barbarian.
Yeah, I know.
It was a lure for Shaujr, but it worked for everyone. You
Yeah.
tackled them into the space that where you
Oh, I
left
didn't-
it. Sorry.
What
Okay.
in the 9 hells did you
I
just
did-
do?
I didn't realize Shaujr didn't want to go.
That
through
was great thinking,
No.
Brandon, because Molly had indicated earlier that
Yeah, I was wondering how
was
that was gonna play
great.
out. Actually,
That was perfect. That was a
Whoa.
great solution to what would be a real problem that you would have been thinking about for a while. So it was a good move. And the fact that you used the others as part of the bait, because if they get tricked in, then it just makes it even more plausible. So, you get tackled through this portal. It must be very sudden, and Nod is huge and strong, and there would just be
yeah.
it would be like a wave of water just crashing and pushing you through this portal to where
Yeah,
you would be rolling through and into this chamber. And as you come into this chamber, the portal will close behind you. The perimeter to the portal is a little smaller in here, but it still will activate when you get near it. But you're back in this chamber that you recall, and when you look down on the ground, you see the Djinni bottle sitting there right where you'd left it.
Oh, okay. I thought
So-
I had hidden it.
No, we tried to take
Wherever
it
you'd
through. I
left
don't
it,
think
wherever
could
you'd
go
left
through
it, I just put it in the
Okay.
map here to indicate it was left here.
I'll
So-
pick it up again.
All right, yeah. So if you pick it up again, that's where we'll leave it off. We'll put you guys back in the Underdark. So you're now, per the map, you're back in the middle of the ocean, under the ocean, between the 3 towers. And
Don't you ever do that to me again?
Somehow or
Don't
other.
worry, there's not any
You
tracks.
only have to do it one
anymore.
more time.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be
Well,
harder
blindfold
next
you
time.
this time.
It's gonna be harder
Yeah, it's
next
gonna be
time.
harder.
This time, I should have given you a plus, but you didn't even need it. That was good.
It's like trying to get BA on an airplane.
Right.
100%. That was the play of the night, Brandon. That was perfect.
I had no idea. I was like, what are we trying to do here? Just go through the portal.
Yeah, no, that
Okay.
was good because she made the comment a couple times too, so it wasn't gonna be the
Yeah, I
easiest
don't want to
thing.
go through it.
Yeah,
So,
love it.
Good job.
It was good. It was night of getting you guys out of town, laying low, using all of your contacts. I thought it was good. I thought, you know, it, given the circumstance, it could have turned out a lot worse.
It could have turned out a lot worse.
Yeah, I literally have 6 screens, 6 maps that I created because I thought this was going to go a different direction. So I say that to you because I fully expected you guys to get captured, and I planned out and had created all of the things that would be necessary
Like
to
the
go along with
dungeon
that.
and
Oh
everything you would
yeah,
be in?
everything.
Oh wow.
I have the whole thing set up, but you know, it
That's
didn't. It's
awesome.
not that it took me very long, but it was just in my mind that I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
is gonna be. I don't know how they're gonna get out of this. So the fact that you guys
Yeah.
always find a way, and I literally, I'm not. The dice decide.
Well, we
The
would
dice
without
decide.
Griff. We would not have gotten out without Griff and his contact.
Yeah.
Truth.
Oh yeah, that was key. That was key. But even during the battle, every one of you did something to help you escape.
Yeah.
Even Kurza, who caused the whole problem, he
Yeah.
collapsed the wall, which ended up being probably your saving grace. At the end of
Oh
the
yeah.
Yeah.
battle.
Good seeing
Right.
everyone again.